It's the Craig Shoemaker Show with Craig Shoemaker, Sarah Sweet, and Joel Geist.
You're listening to Craig Shoemaker, America.
Who did this to you? Kira Sultanovich is our guest.
You are the love master. But don't you have like 17 kids?
I have another one on the way.
Stop it.
I swear to God,
Dude,
a girl.
you need to pull out. We get it. You're fertile.
We have Eric Griffin is here. I'm glad you're here. Why don't you co-host every week? Male co-host.
First of all, I'm looking around and I need to call the NAACP about this.
Got a lot of people in the room here.
You know what I mean? No, this is honky central right now.
No, we're going to get to that. It's Katie Seagal. You're going to be on a show that I absolutely love. And am I allowed to say it? Are you allowed to say it?
Yeah, which show?
She's got so many of them.
Frangela, they're coming in. Why do you think you should be on The Price is Right? Play the Asian thing. If she goes, it's called Places Light. I swear to God, we're a winner. I think I have created a person who would be chosen.
You're dangerously close to me telling you, Francis, to go to the Price is Right with like a bone in your nose.
Hey, hi, who's this?
Hey, this is John Resnick.
From the Goo Goo Dolls.
From the Goo Goo Dolls, yes.
Everything he sings sounds amazing.
Can you sing Mary Had a Little Lamb?
Mary had a little lamb.
Wherever I am, there is joy and laughter. Yay. No?
Yeah. Make sure to visit our website, CraigShoemakerShow.com.
You're going to want to watch today, not only listen on iTunes. By the way, welcome to the Craig Shoemaker Show. Today, if you like what you hear today or any day or any moment, give us a rating on iTunes. A high rating
one.
we would expect.
5 stars.
And if you don't give us a high rating, if you don't plan on doing it, give whatever rating you're about to give to the Adam Carolla Show.
Or Mark Maron,
Or
whatever.
Mark Maron,
they have
yes.
like plenty.
They have plenty. They have plenty of good ratings. They're doing
Good
fine.
guests, yeah.
Okay? But we would like you to tell a friend and spread the word about our show because we're not in the millions like they are. Yet. But we're putting it out. The law of attraction. We're putting it out there. And if you want to donate, you can do that anytime. Click on our Amazon banner. You can see the Amazon banner. And if you're a shopper at Amazon, why not go through us, okay, and go through our banner, and then we can pay Sarah.
Right. I
to
don't
fix
believe
her
it anymore.
car. You're putting that
Empty
out there that you don't
promises.
believe it anymore.
I don't believe in you anymore. I'm just kidding.
Look, our audience of 9.
Who
Our audience
are
of 9.
these people?
Our audience of
By the
9
way,
just gave you a
why-
gasp. You're going to have immediate
it's gonna be
feedback today.
awful for
Our
me.
audience of 1 just went up so much.
Oh,
They
Shoemaker
gasped at
fans.
that. Okay,
Yeah.
they're not Shoemaker fans.
Who are they, by the way?
They
There's
don't
like
even know me.
20 people in the
How
studio.
do you know that they're not Sarah Sweet fans? There's 9 of them in here. It's just unbelievable. Let's
I
hear
can
from you.
tell.
Let's hear. Look at that.
There's a
Look at this,
lot.
folks. Is that unbelievable? It's dynamic in here. This episode of the Craig Shoemaker Show is brought to you by Adam and Eve. More about them later.
Yeah, because they're important.
They're important. If they pay us, they're important. Sarah, you have to start putting it out that you want money. I know. No, we already put that out.
Yeah.
Here's how you have to.
times.
Here's how you put it to the universe. I want money, but not from Craig directly.
Well,
Okay.
That's your goal for me to want to manifest.
Of course it is. The OPM, baby. Other people's money. You think I want to pay you out of my pocket? I already do with laughing at the stars.
Okay, guys, let's be clear. That's $5.
$5 and a correct answer. You want to play again? We can't play with Joe. Who's this guy?
Who's this little?
Who's this guy? Well, sit up here. You got to sit up. Oh, that camera angle you're showing our audience. Uh-oh. They might. Oh, there. That's
that
my
little
son, Jackson.
cutie?
Say hi, Jackson. They'll hear you. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't know who's going to hear that. I think a dog couldn't hear that. So, listen, Jackson, you know what we're thinking about doing? Sarah needs money, so we normally play Laughing at the Stars, which I don't think you know much about the stars.
Which would be good for me. So I
So
think.
maybe we'll pay her this way. Every correct answer she gets against you, we'll play Are You Smarter Than a 4-Year-Old? How old are you?
4.
Okay, you have to be a little more clear and okay, sit up straight. Okay, we're gonna play this game called Are You Smarter Than the 4-Year-Old? Every correct answer that Sarah gets against you, she gets $5.
And this,
We'll play this very legitimately.
Yeah.
We'll ask very adult questions that he should not be able to answer.
I have a feeling this will be very embarrassing
I'm-
for me. Yeah.
Is it worth the $5?
I'm not sure for my self-esteem. I don't know if I want to play this game, Jackson. But
Does he look like he's ready? He's ready for it. He doesn't look like he's smelling any blood. But by the
heard
way, I don't.
stories.
All right, let me hear your buzzer sound. Okay,
Beep. Whatever comes out.
Okay,
is
whatever
what
comes
it-
out.
yeah.
What's your buzzer sound? What's your buzzer? Bzz. Okay,
That's
okay.
a good
Now,
one.
make sure you face this way a little bit. Okay, here we go. Why don't we start with state capitals? Okay?
Jesus.
And just so you know it's not rigged, how about somebody from our studio audience yell out and you guys have to buzz in as soon as you hear the
farting?
question. He's not farting.
Is
It
he
was, it was his chair. You think he's intimidating? You call my kid a farter? It was your squeaky chair, was it? You didn't really fart, did you? Okay, good. By the way, if you nod your head, it won't work. It's on radio. You have to be able to hear you. Did you or did you not fart?
I didn't.
Okay, I didn't fart. Okay, I'm his translator too. Are you ready?
I didn't.
Put your hands down. Are you ready to play? You gotta go like this. I'm ready to play.
Oh, yeah.
Are you excited? We're excited. You are? Then notify your face. Look excited. Here we go. All right, now. Okay, we're gonna start with state capitals. Do you know anything about state capitals? Okay, or you have to say it loudly. You gotta buzz in, and I'm gonna point to you. And this Sarah's gonna win money, and you'll win money too if you get the right answers. Here we go. Are you smarter than the 4-year-old?
This is crappy.
Okay. Somebody name a state.
Michigan.
No. Oh, of course you went with your state. Anybody know Michigan?
Michigan.
Do you know Michigan? Buzz in if you know it.
I don't
Name
know
another
Michigan.
state.
California.
Sacramento.
No.
Sacramento.
You're gonna have to be quick with her. There's $5 to you.
Yes.
Okay. You have to buzz in or you don't qualify.
$5.
All right, here we go. Here we go. How about Maine? Yes, Jackson.
Augusta.
Augusta is correct.
I have a
$5 for you.
I have a feeling this
Are we
is
ready?
not gonna be
Okay.
fair.
All right. We're going to go to another category. Let's go to the
this is not
category
gonna
of
be fair.
chemical symbols. Chemical symbols.
What?
Okay. Chemical symbols.
No.
What is
no.
the?
You're setting
Okay,
him up to
I
win.
am totally
like,
not
these are
setting
the
him up
weird
to win.
things
I had
that
them
you-
yelling them out. They yelled out California,
Oh,
and you
let's
got
do
it already.
damn.
You won $5. You want to give it back?
No.
Play the damn game. Here we go.
Chemical
Here we go.
symbols.
Chemical symbols. Are you ready? Like H2O would be water.
Water.
Okay. What is the symbol AU? What does that stand for? AU.
Aluminum.
Aluminum is incorrect.
Oh.
AU. You have a chance to steal.
Is this up from the periodic table?
Gold. Gold is absolutely right. $5 for the 4-year-old Jackson.
right.
Very good. Okay. Now we go
Is this
to
the periodic table?
Let's go
No,
to-
you're just like skipping around topics that he knows about. Let's go.
What are you talking about? I'm just doing. I'm trying to make it
What
fair for you.
other
How about we
symbols
go?
from the
What else do you
periodic
want to
table
go
does he
with?
know?
How about we go
How
with?
about we go with who?
What do we go with?
I don't know.
Actors, actresses,
All right, keep going.
28-year-old actresses.
You're doing great,
for 500,
Jackson.
Craig.
You're doing great.
Okay, here we go. I can't believe she's dissing you. She's trying to take
No,
money
I'm
from you.
dissing
It's
your dad.
$10 to $5.
I'm dissing
You're up
your
$10
dad.
to $5. Here we go. Our next question is: let's take planets. All right. What planet has the most moons? Most moons.
Jupiter.
Oh, he didn't
You have to
buzz
buzz in,
So
buzz in.
Jupiter.
She's trying to take money from him. It's unbelievable. Did you say Jupiter? Jupiter is the correct answer. That is $15 to $5.
I'm not a fan of the audience anymore.
That you ever were? You've been suspicious of them the whole time.
I know.
Okay,
it's
here
only
we go.
because I have social anxiety.
Let's go back
and so a lot
to
of
let's go
people-
back to state capitals.
Yeah.
She has social anxiety, and this is a performer in front of audiences.
I mean, this is a very intimate space of
A little too
strangers.
intimate for you?
Yeah, it
Okay.
makes me very nervous.
Really?
Yeah,
You think
I
someone's-
can't even make eye contact right now with him.
You
Yeah.
think you're Monica Seles? They're going to attack you from behind or
No,
something?
I know it's not their issue. It's fine. I'm aware of it. but-
Okay, all right. It's 20 to 5. Okay, 20 to 5. You have $20
No,
coming.
he
You have
does
$5
not.
coming.
What did he win?
Okay,
Gold?
ready? Huh? We have to recap.
Gold, Maine.
Maine, right? What else did you get?
The plant.
Oh, the
no,
planets.
I got Jupiter. I
He
got it.
Jupiter.
I got it because he
Audience?
didn't buzz in.
Jackson.
Oh, because he didn't buzz in. You didn't buzz in on the Sacramento.
Okay, let me just
You didn't buzz
say,
in on Sacramento. You
I
said
did,
Sacramento.
and
We
then
could
I buzzed-
replay it
and
if
then
you
I
want.
buzzed really
You're not
quickly
supposed to.
afterwards.
Is Alex
But
Trebek
let
ever
me-
anyone argue
if you
with him?
guys go
The
for
answer is
Jackson, I get it. But like, let's
What's
say
that?
if you guys go for Jackson audience in the room, I get it.
What do
but
you mean
he's
go
a
for?
4-year-old who is supported by a very successful comedian. I crashed my car. I know.
Are you going with the sympathy? She's going for the sympathy vote against a 4-year-old.
Yeah, I'm
Jackson,
taking it.
okay. You have $20. She has $5. Just remember, you get this from me later. Keep your hands off of here. Now, you ready? You have to buzz in quickly. Okay, if you know the answer to this.
Yeah.
What is the capital of? Let's go. Alaska.
I don't know.
Do it faster. Okay, do you know it?
He said.
What is it? Capital of Alaska is?
Juno.
Juneau is absolutely right.
Hey.
It's $25. $5 is Sarah Sweet. Another capital?
Why don't you ask topics that I know about?
Let's go. Capital of Texas.
Like
Anybody know the
psychology of
capital
why
of Texas?
people do
Yes,
things.
he's
Oh,
buzzing in.
Austin.
What is it? Oh, but he buzzed in. Who is it? What is it?
Sacramento.
Oh, he already knew. He's trying to give you money. Did you see the little pity on his face? He knew the answer. He knew the answer. He went, oh, let's give this to Sarah because I already steal from your wallet, Daddy.
Does he? Smart. He is smarter than me.
That's his brother. I catch him all the time. Listen, don't let her do the sympathy thing with you. You know the answer to these. Now let's time buzz it.
This is Austin.
Okay, ready?
Does that mean I get it?
Okay, yeah, I'll give it to you. We'll give it to you.
Okay, great.
Because he feels bad. You ready, Jackson?
Oh, I love it.
Buzz in if you know it. Now, capital of Florida. Yes.
Tampa. No. Oh,
Tampa is
Orlando.
incorrect.
Orlando.
Stop. What is
I
it?
don't know.
Tallahassee is absolutely correct. It's $30 to you, $10 to you.
It's been
Are you
since
smarter?
Fifth grade.
All I have to
since
say
picked
is
this
something that I used to
test.
do when I tortured people when I was a kid, and you'd have you would have your knees on their shoulders, and you'd be putting grass in their face. I'm going to say the same words. Do you give?
Like mercy.
Yeah, that would be the thing.
Mercy.
It means do you give up? Do you give? And you would go, do you give? Do you give?
Why? Because
you
it's so
You
embarrassing?
like have drool of spit over them, and you would like suck it up right on time and stuff like that. It was really horrible. We did it to each other. But that'd be the whole thing is do you give? And we were very stubborn. We wouldn't. I'll give you one chance. Do you give?
No.
Okay, here we go. Next state
this
capital.
is quite embarrassing.
Next state
I don't
capital.
know
How
the
about
capitals.
Mississippi?
Jackson.
Jackson is absolutely correct. That's 35.
The only reason why I think this is not fun because I feel like you're picking
let's do
topics
another category.
that you know that he's amazing at.
Okay, how about we go to... That was not a
he's
fart. That's
farting.
totally a shoe. It's absolutely a shoe,
No,
miss. Stop heckling the poor kid. He's just trying to play a little game. Money means nothing to him, okay?
Makes
Here we
him a
go. How
little
about we go
gassy.
dinosaurs? How about we go dinosaurs,
Come
okay?
on, Craig.
Tell him what?
Come on. This is...
What is wrong? Here we go.
Well, why don't we
Name the dinosaur that has 3 horns.
What?
Triceratops.
Triceratops is absolutely correct. You didn't buzz in, though. She'll try to steal your freaking money.
Not at this point. Now,
is
I'm
right.
just getting mad and I don't want to play anymore.
Do you give?
Sure.
We can move on. All right.
Sure.
Thank you, Sarah and Jackson, for playing our game.
Yay,
Are you
Jackson.
smarter than the 4-year-old?
Apparently
You did
not.
great, Jackson. All right, you go out to mommy now. Here, give me kissy. Give me kissy. You did great.
You did great. You are super smart.
Little SHY, but what are you going to do? He said he want. Hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? You say it loud. A comedian. Nice. Good move. Oh.
He's so cute. So little. That was such bullshit. That was...
Sarah.
So, can you close the door so he can't hear?
He could curse me out. I'm actually nervous now. I'm already going through difficulties with other people cursing me out. Now you're going to do the same
That was
thing.
pretty shitty.
Why? Was it?
Because you pick topics that you know that he's going to be awesome
Okay,
at.
wait a minute. I went with planets, capitals. These are all standard things. You would go dinosaurs. What else?
Standard things.
Am I going to talk about lingerie? What else am I going to talk to him
Things
about?
that-
I could have
no.
gone his topics. How about Legos?
You went
He
his
loves
topics.
Legos. I could have done that. Legos.
You went his topics.
How can a 4-year-old have a topic of planets and capitals?
How? What do you mean? How? What? What? What do you mean? How can that happen?
Their wheelhouse would be a toy.
Because we
or
know
a
that
Toy
Jackson's
Story.
smart, and
Okay.
we know that he has interest in things that maybe normal 4-year-olds don't.
Is that
like
normal
play-
now? Just keep saying this.
All right, I'm not. It's you that I hate, not your little son. Just kidding. I don't hate you. I don't like this audience in here. Do you hear the
This is so funny.
It's making me so uncomfortable.
Now, I want you guys to know this is Sarah Sweet, who is my fabulous co-host for 2 years
I
now.
don't
We've
hate
been
you
doing
ever.
this. And what's that?
I don't hate you. I'm just getting defensive. I'm getting very defensive.
It's okay.
It's
We'll
a week
get over
of
it.
my period.
We'll-
It
we'll-
happens. We all know that. We all
Oh,
know
you
that.
had to throw that one in.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Really?
good
You went
topic
with the
that comes
P?
up. We know that I get a little bit more angry. this
Really?
week. Come on,
You're
2
throwing
years.
that one still? That's
Throwing
been
it?
since like
What
15.
do you mean throwing it?
Since you're
It's
15.
like it doesn't happen anymore.
I didn't say that, but like the girls have been using that one for a long time.
Yeah,
hey,
because
I
it's
hate
true.
you. You're the worst person ever. Sorry, forgot to look at the red zone on the calendar.
I feel like that is a true thing that happens every
It is?
month. Yeah, it's a hormonal thing.
This is very funny you would bring this up, or not funny, but I'm going through difficulty with someone with borderline personality disorder.
Yeah.
And people don't understand this disorder is very, very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that calendar's red 24/7. It's some days it's a little pink. It's okay for sometimes, but most of the time it's bright red, and they're going to come after you. And that's what's going on with me right now. It's been I had an anxiety attack yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look, I'm okay today.
Good.
But yesterday I was not doing well.
Because of.
Well, when you get these attacks, when you have accusations, then you go in your mind, you start repeating things in your mind. You have to, and by the way, this is what they prey upon. They prey upon drama and histrionics and so on, and that's how they get people to go to their side. This guy that repeated her gossip, believed her and was like the worst thing ever. I was like, well, you might want to take a step back from that one. And that's what they do. They're very, very manipulative. It's always blame. They engage people. There's a lot of stuff with borderline personality. By the way, we have some Facebook posts if you want to get those for me, Stefan. But a lot of people are on the other side of this, and it's very dangerous. I think it should be called something other than borderline. They're way over the border.
If they haven't listened
They're
to the
past
show,
Mexico.
just so the audience knows, we're talking about Craig's ex-wife.
Would
I'm
you
assuming.
stop? I did not say that. Say assume. I did not say
assuming,
that.
and
I'm being
right.
smarter about that these days.
And it's a topic that comes up quite a bit.
Go ahead, say it, Sarah. I'm
Borderline
not saying it. I'm
personality,
saying.
accusations, divorce. Your
Look at
money's
my baseball
gone
card
because
from the
of the
1990s.
courts.
That's actually me. Believe that?
Yeah. So you have a bunch of notes here
Yeah, I do.
for the show.
No, these aren't for the show. These are my
These are just
comedy
your daily,
notes.
your comedy notes.
These are through the years. Look at these. These are from college.
Let's just do you see these notes? He has a huge folder.
This is how comedians work because
chicken scratch of. Let's see. I'm gonna.
I don't like to put things on computers and.
Why?
It's just because
So
I have a
so you'll be able
photographic
to read
memory.
it?
I have a photographic memory, right?
Wait.
For
okay.
instance, like this says, I can tell you what that says without even looking at it. I know where it is on the page.
What
and it's
does it
circled.
say?
It probably says bras.
It does say bras. It says
It's like a
bras.
magic trick. It's like a magic trick.
And
I
these
know
are
what things say
circled.
because it's in
there's
my
certain
writing.
Things that are circled, just words though. Don Johnson, Vegas is circled.
Well, that means there's a Don Johnson story.
Mom Jeopardy.
Yeah, that's my mom. And I have these are all stories, and so they were reminders.
Dogs in purse. Pitbull. What's that one?
I had a dog that was half pit bull, half poodle. Not much of a guard dog, but a vicious gossip. That was that joke.
Okay.
And it's about women like accessorizing with a dog. I think is wrong.
Okay.
Like it's like you're gonna buy a purse and go, would my dog go good with that purse? That just doesn't seem right to me. And then they put the dog in the purse like it's lipstick. I have a lot of dog stories.
What
too.
about this
I used to have
one?
a dachshund.
A dachshund?
A wiener dog, and she
those are
feed it too much. It was
the
my
worst.
stepdog. I did not choose this dog.
Yeah.
And she would feed it too much. It was like a kielbasa walking down the street. It was like waddling, and it would get stuck on speed bumps.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I ate too much. Get me out of here. You know. And honest to God, I don't know if you heard this, but dachshunds are trained in history to burrow under the ground to hunt for badgers. They're trained, and the dog would sleep with us, and I sleep in the nude.
Ew.
Yeah, and he's like burrowing. I'm going, whoa, that's no badger you're taking for. You just met your daddy. You know what I mean? And then and then here's the other thing. It's like when we first got together, because it was my stepdog, it would all of a sudden I'd feel something in my
butt.
Yeah.
Your butt, the hole.
In the hole.
To burrow.
And I'd be going, whoa. And I'd be like turned into her going, I'm half asleep going, hey, I'm not into that. You can. I know you read that in a Cosmo article, but not all dudes like that stuff.
Yeah.
And get out of there. I thought it was her going, hey, I'm turning you on now, but it was the dog.
How far did the dog get down the hole?
He didn't find a badger.
That's good.
Okay. So I had bits about dogs, and these are all my notes. There's your reminders like remember to say this on this show, or remember to add this to your comedy act. And a lot of it never even makes it to the stage.
Old jogging picked up.
Oh yeah.
What's that joke?
That means I'm so old. I was jogging. I'm so old and out of shape. I was jogging, and someone literally stopped the car and said, "Are you okay? Would you like a ride?"
And what'd you say?
I was so embarrassed. I go, "You can't see I'm in running clothes here. I know I have boob sweat, but and I know I'm only a block into this adventure."
Oh, this one looks interesting. What's the wet
interesting?
dream?
Wet dream?
Yeah, it's a topic on here.
Yeah, I remember that one.
What is it?
I remember that one.
What is it?
Well,
You want to get Jackson back in here?
I do have it had something to do with fantasizing.
Are you a little embarrassed right now?
Yeah, I'm a little embarrassed because there's people in here.
Yeah,
Normally it's
I know.
just you.
I know.
And then I just feel, normally when it's just you, I just feel a little creepy.
Right. But
But now
now
that there's like judgment 9 ways, it's a little.
what are you concerned about?
Huh?
What kind of judgments are you concerned about getting?
Well, you brought me in on, this is a little different than you losing to a 4-year-old.
I don't think so. I felt shame. I felt a lot of shame.
Okay. But pay it $10, can we move on?
20.
No, she's driving me now. Maybe you have borderline. Yeah.
Don't try to project.
All right,
Let's hear about your wet dream.
So, you really want? Well,
I do.
Men fantasize. Okay?
Oh.
Did you know this?
Weird.
It's like we have a thing where we paint on the back of our eyelids.
Yeah.
Things.
So you can't be present
Right.
with your lover.
So,
right.
yeah, break it down there,
Yeah.
Dr. Drewis.
Yeah.
Are you serious? You're
Yeah.
going to break this down or
Yeah.
get the thing out?
Well, that's what I'm here for, right?
So
For
anyway,
commenting.
the whole bit is about what you visualize, and sometimes you start to run out of things. So you run out of things because you've been around so much, and we're bombarded on the internet, and you have access to everything.
What am I going to do? Maybe
now
be
it's like, now you
present
have to
with
go,
the woman that's...
Would you stop? I'm fine now. Look how old that is. It's not even my writing. Matter of fact, that has Justin. That looks like Jackson, but that's Justin on the cover.
Oh, cute.
It's when I did a show called "Who's Your Daddy." That's how long ago that was. That was like 2000. Anyway,
So you
I would visualize. I go,
images.
okay, I'm with an alien, and she's got a hole in her back of her head.
What?
I'm going, oh, I'm fucking her brains out. Anyway, that's horrible. But anyway,
I think we can
you asked me. It was part of my old act. It's not in it now. You asked me, and I'm trying to be honest.
Yeah,
These are my
I
old
appreciate
notes.
your honesty. Not everything's
Look,
comedy gold.
they still have the little
What's that? Oh, yeah.
fray on it. From back in college. These are the kind of notebooks I used back then. I'm too cheap
Oh,
to buy
here's
new
one.
notebooks.
Here's one
What's
on
that? What do you got?
Viagra. What's that one about?
Well, I said to
I love making you uncomfortable.
I said to the pharmacist, because it's expensive. I said, can I get it over the counter? Viagra? And he goes, yeah, I guess if you take 2 or 3, you get over the counter, get 2 more, you get it over the shelf.
Got it. Got it.
Come on. That's not in the act anymore either. All right, but it's getting a little chuckle here and there.
Yeah.
But these are my notes from all the years of I had a Don Johnson. That was from about 4 years ago. The Don Johnsons. You know who Don Johnson is?
I think I've heard this.
Heard the story?
No, but maybe I have. Don Johnson.
Do you know who he is?
No, who is that?
Well, he was on a show called Miami Vice back in the 80s.
Uh-huh.
And the day I met him was a very strange circumstance. Would you like to hear it?
Yeah, I would like to hear it.
He's married to Melanie Griffith, and he's done a bunch of shows. He
At
had
the
one
time.
show, Nash Bridges.
Yeah.
How about that's more your generation?
Sort of.
It was only 10 years ago. And he's always back, and he's doing something now. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. He's like, yeah, here's the music. He's like, he could roll up his sleeves. I actually kind of a Don Johnson look going on here today with my jacket. He rolls up his sleeves. Hey, Crockett, let's go. I don't even know if he was Crockett or Sonny, but it was Sonny and Crockett, and they're in Miami. They're detectives.
Yeah, and they wore those suits, right?
Yeah, and the suits, and a black man you never saw again.
Yeah.
He will not be mistaken for Samuel L. Jackson. I can assure you on that one, okay? So, other people will be, but not whoever played Crockett or Sonny. So anyway, the day I meet him, you can keep the music going because it is appropriate. The day I meet him was a very funny circumstance. Hall and Oates, right?
Yes.
So Oates is my buddy. He says, hey, come join us. come join us. So it's me and Mika, my wife, and they says, join us. We're going to go meet at this restaurant. And it was the strangest thing. You know me and my surreal life. I walk into this outdoor restaurant. It was De Niro's restaurant in Hollywood. It's after the Hall & Oates concert. And here's Hall with one group of people and Oates with another group. And my table has Don Johnson. Okay? So it's like I'm walking into the 80s.
Yeah, totally.
So I'm already kind of laughing to myself and nudging Mika. So Don Johnson, here's his first words out of his mouth. He's bleeding from the gum.
Oh, no.
And he's lisping because he's holding on to his tooth. And he goes, does anybody have any super glue? Because I chipped my tooth on my cocktail glass.
Oh, no. He had such
holding on to his
teeth.
tooth, his front tooth. This is a handsome guy, but he's kind of disheveled and drunk. And he goes, does anybody have any super glue? This is the first words out of his mouth. No, it's not nice to meet you. I'm Don Johnson. That's super glue. And he's whistling his ass.
Would that work?
So anyway.
Apparently, super glue.
I don't know if it works.
Yeah.
You're talking about a guy that had a few vodka martinis.
What
Who knows if it
his
works?
Voice? Was it always like that?
It's raspy anyway, but now he's older and, the cigarettes and everything.
Yeah.
So he's there. Anyway, it's super glue. Of course, I don't have the perfect impression down, Sarah.
Okay.
But I'm not Rich Little. Look him up, too. All right, so anyway, he says, anybody have super glue? So, and my wife, of course, the nice one, I'm laughing, and she's going, oh, I'll look. Like she's got some on her. Like she's MacGyver.
Yeah.
So she's looking through her purse, I'm sorry, you don't have. So we sit down with the guy, and what happened was I had just returned from one of my trips with my friends. I go away with my friends every year.
Yeah.
So from kindergarten, third grade, we go on these trips to Vegas. We go to Florida, and we golf, and we have fun, and just a blast. It's 9 of us to go. So he's staring at me as I'm telling this story to everybody at the table. I'm going, oh my God, we get together. We know our kids have grown up together, and he's just staring at me. And all of a sudden he goes, you know people that long? He goes, I don't know anybody.
Aww.
He goes, I go, where are you from? He goes, Kansas. And I said, well, what if you go back to Kansas? You go find your old friends. He goes, oh, they're probably dead. So it's just like this depressing story.
Yeah.
And he's going, they're probably dead or they wouldn't know me. And I go, of course they would know. You're Don Johnson. He goes, well, they might know me, but, I wouldn't want to know them, to be honest with you. So he starts to tell me about his no old friends. And I go, well, you could change that. You're Mr. Optimist. I'm going, you can change that. You can reconnect them. Maybe somebody you knew from maybe college or something like that. I didn't know anybody. Maybe somebody right after college. No, I didn't go anywhere after college. I started acting, and I know people I act with.
Okay.
And then you say, go, and you move on. So,
yeah.
So I guess what he was saying is he doesn't have any friends that are outside of the business.
Yeah.
He was married to Barbara Streisand at one time. It's like whoever's in front of you in this town, that's how they work.
Wow, crazy.
So then he turns to me and he goes, dead serious, he goes, on your next trip, can I come? And I go, so devilish me goes, in my mind I'm going, oh my God, this is genius. My friends, if I show up with Don Johnson, they're going to go, what is Shoemaker doing? And who is that guy? So I wanted that. So my mind starts creating like a director. I'm going, oh my God, we'll show up in the Vegas hotel. And then I'll go, hey, because a lot of us room together. I go, hey, here's my buddy Don. I'll just say Don from L.A. I go, guys, he wants to be part of our group now. And they're all going to be going, whispering to each other, Don Johnson. Did Shoemaker bring Don Johnson? So I said to him out loud, I go, oh my God, this is a great idea, Don. Every year I can bring a new person, Anson Williams from Happy Days. He played Potsy. He could be my next year's guy. So here's Potsy and, just bring Fonzie.
Yeah.
Whoever wants to come. Every year we'd have a guest star. I swear to God, he goes, I don't want to be a guest star. I want to be a staple. I want to be a staple with a whistling ass. You gotta be kidding me. So anyway, that's how it made it to the notes.
Yeah. Did you invite him?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't tell you the bad punchline.
Yeah.
So I got through to him. So we're going to. Oh, and then the other one, he starts talking me into it. He goes, you go to Vegas? He goes, you need me in Vegas. Kind of like Nicholson, you need me on that wall. He goes, when you have a velvet rope guy, I'll get past it.
Nice.
You can use my name.
Yeah.
This is genius. So he starts trying to convince me he should be part of my gang.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm an actor. I'll blend in with the old stories. I'll memorize them. He now wants to pretend that he's part of my gang going, and he wants to be in the dungeon gang that we all grew up with, and he's going to learn his lines and replace, I guess, George Megaphone Steele. I guess he'll replace him.
Yeah.
I can play George. He's auditioning to play my friend. So he's I'll memorize the lines.
Yeah.
It was genius. So anyway.
I think we all feel a little bad for Don Johnson.
Well, you know where this is headed.
Keep going.
I said, all right. I call up. Our next trip is the following year. I think it was Vegas. I forget. He can't go.
Why?
He's in rehab.
Oh. Good for him.
Isn't that a terrible story?
Yeah.
I forgot to mention we have Bruce Vilanch as our guest today. Bruce Vilanch has written the Oscars every single year. He actually has a documentary called Get Bruce. You know what Get Bruce is about?
He's the head writer of the Oscars?
Oh, every year. Every year. And you know what Get Bruce means? It means like Billy Crystal, Bette Midler, all these people, they go, get me Bruce. If they need jokes, they get Bruce.
Wow.
This guy is a genius. Seriously. He's like I hate the word idiot savant. Can you just drop the idiot and just put savant, right? He's a savant when it comes to jokes. He's a genius.
That's amazing.
He's amazing and a really good guy. I've known for a long time. And
was he doing it this year?
I don't know. We'll ask him about that.
Because isn't Ellen hosting
This
it?
is the Oscars this year. I don't know that she got Bruce. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm thinking if he's with us this week, probably not. he'd be prepping. Isn't it this Sunday? Yeah, he'd be prepping.
Yeah.
So he'll talk about all the other years that he was asked to get Bruce. We got Bruce. And that plus much more is coming right up. Stick around. Our audience of 9, how about it?
Yay!
Look at that. Coming right back. Hey guys, Craig Shoemaker, CraigShoemakerShow.com. Laugh it off. I am here to talk to you about Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime offers thousands of free streaming movies and free 2-day shipping on anything you order from Amazon.com. Now, for a limited time, you can try Amazon Prime absolutely free for 30 days through our website. You go to our website. You visit CraigShoemakerShow.com and click on the Downtown Abbey banner. That's the Downtown Abbey banner, as opposed to all of the other banners we have up. I think it might be the only one. You can start your 30-day trial. It's that easy, okay? That's how simple it is. Even a tech fool like me can do this. You get to try something risk-free and support our show at the same time. I know you want to support our show because it's free, okay? So this is a way that you can benefit and just give us a little hand. That money that Sarah just made and Joel just made came from my pocket. You don't want that to be the case anymore, so give us a little hand. Doing this show you love the Craig Shoemaker Show. Help us out. You can even stream those same movies instantly on your tablet, game consoles, smart TVs, and Smerry. You can do that by just going to there. Don't forget, if you happen to miss this offer, be sure to check back on our site regularly. I never like that word. Let's take that word out of our script. Regularly. You think I have a big agent. I hope they're not listening right now. And we'll have more deals for you in the future. Remember, CraigShoemakerShow.com. Click the banner, and you get to save and also have a 100% free trial. Now, I got to do this, by the way. Somebody write this down for me. Thank you so much for your support. More of the Craig Shoemaker Show coming right up. Most people in the podcast world listen. They download and listen
later. Right.
Yeah, we found that. But
Yeah.
we do have a unique show that you get to watch us if you're watching right now.
And you can participate, too.
How do they do that?
By calling in.
That's true. There's a call-in line and things when we do it live. But if you're watching live, you're going to see other people on the screen that usually aren't here. Joel's not here today. Sarah Sweet is here.
It's true.
$10 richer.
20, I think.
But $30 in the shame hole.
The shame you can't
In
even.
the shame hole. Did you win? Did you beat Sarah?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just nod. You got to talk out loud. You want to be a comedian? You got to talk out loud, kid.
Yes.
Yes. All right. He has a video out with his brother that is just so funny. I have to show it sometime. What do you say in the video? He talks to Vine. He goes, "Hi." Go ahead, do it.
Hi, Vilanch Jackson. That's the monster.
He goes, it's the monsters. And then Jared goes in the background. But he cuts himself in, though. He's not in the whole thing. But all of a sudden
he does?
He's behind him like a director. It's genius. He goes, "Hi, Vine. It's me, Jackson. Oh, the monsters." I love this video. And look who else is here. My wife, who just gave birth
It looks amazing.
at our home only 6 weeks ago.
That blows my mind. You look amazing. Just
Thank
beautiful.
you.
I was noticing you in that and what you were wearing earlier. I was like, man, she's beautiful.
How about it?
Beautiful wife.
Yes, I am a lucky, lucky man. And the reason she's here is I've never seen her anticipate something like this. Even the birth of the baby wasn't anticipated as much as she's anticipating.
I didn't know when it was coming.
Yeah.
Well, that's
This
true.
I knew it was coming.
This is right in front of
Yeah.
you.
What is it?
It's
One
right
of our
in front of
audience,
me.
one of our audience of 9, Tonette, okay, is a fabulous scrapbooker.
Ooh.
So she did we sent her, she and Mika worked together on getting a scrapbook together. So that's why Mika just drove an hour to be here because she's anticipating. I know you're going, she sees her all the time. What's she doing here? Why on earth would she put a 4-year-old in a game with me? Anyway, she's here because she can't wait to see the scrapbook. I said, honey, you have to wait till I see it with you.
Oh,
So
you
these are now in
did.
front of her, literally like
Salivating.
it's like a person who hasn't eaten in 3 days, and I just put food in front of her and said, "You can't." I used to do this with my dog. I would put a piece of food on her nose. I put a piece of food on her nose.
Come on,
I would go no, and she would stare at me. "You're such a son of a," and I would say no. And then when I said yes, she would like flip it up in the air and eat it.
Yeah.
That dog was a genius, Susie. Remember the stories about Susie?
Let's see
Okay.
him. So you
So
sent.
here we have
did you send
2
pictures?
scrapbooks.
I sent
how did it
pictures
work?
to Tonette, and I said, I don't know, I'm sending you a lot of pictures. Just pick the good ones and put them in. And I've never seen her work before, but I know that she's really good, so I cannot wait to see like how it's transformed.
We took a flyer on this one. We gave our lives over to, and Tonette said something to me today like, "You guys do a lot." Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do a little too much. I think we filled up a couple scrapbooks.
Yeah.
And then was she a fan from shows? Is that how you guys connected? Or
How does it work?
My husband and I went to see you at the Ice House
Oh,
in
okay.
Pasadena, and you had posted on Twitter your trophies, and I thought, you're insulting your trophies, and I would love to have those. So I just said something about, well, all I get is scrapbooking awards, and you went, wow, do my picks.
Oh, that's how it works.
Scrapbooking awards.
So you would love to have a scrapbooking award, okay?
No, she
got
gets
from
them.
the LA County Fair.
You already have.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Well, I would like to present you with an award. Here it is. A bottle of Trader Joe's Natural Mountain Spring Water.
Wow.
This is my trophy to you from the Craig Shoemaker Show. So now I want you to post
I will.
that you won the award for best scrapbooker in all of I'm going to say all of the planet. Okay?
wow.
No LA County. This is the county of Globe.
You're really drawing
Okay.
this out. Now I'm dying.
Watch them be really crappy. Serrated edges, burnt, cigarette burns.
could people potentially hire?
Yes, can they hire you?
Yes.
Great. We did.
Yeah.
We did. So here's I'm
you're
gonna,
thirsty.
You know what we'll do? This is like the pretend award, but we'll really get you a real bottle later. Because I need to drink this.
Okay, let's see
Okay,
him.
this is how we ad lib on our show. So what do we have here? We
Okay.
have scrap.
So we've got-
Look at the size of this.
Memories.
Okay.
And this is before Chloe,
Yeah,
obviously.
presenting.
Presenting the Shoemaker.
Wow, this is the ice skating. Look at that.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow. Look
Oh,
at
so she puts little
she
ice
does the
skates
winter
and little
Wonderland.
so you don't only just put the photos in. You want to see this, don't you? Okay, go sit on mommy's lap.
Oh, and she's got the names of the kids.
see up on the TV.
Bike race.
See?
She's got the dates.
I love
This
scrapbooks.
is so neat. Oops, did it just...
Oh, the cars one.
Disneyland.
That's great.
Wow, that's awesome. Can you see it, Jackson? No, we can't.
Oh no, it's scrapbooks.
Wow.
So,
Oh my gosh, this is beautiful.
geez, this family is busy. This
Yeah.
all costs a lot of money.
Easter,
Petting zoos. And,
the fun run at
Dinners.
school.
well, that doesn't cost much money. The fun run, although they're hitting you up for money all the time. So yeah, so now
Hiking.
what happens in scrapbooking? Actually, my ex
That looks
used to
great.
scrapbook, or no, she still does. She's majorly into scrapbooking. I used to say she liked it because you guys have that little guillotine, you know, that you cut things, and she wanted my penis in there. Did I say that? Did I say that in front of
You did.
Yeah, you know.
Don't worry, he was looking at
And
Thomas.
Yeah. Oh, Thomas the tank engine. So what happens is, there's Tom. What's your favorite engine?
Gordon.
Oh, you
Jordan?
changed
And
it.
oh, you changed it. Who else? What about the one who starts with a P? I know you love that one. What's that one's name?
Pissy.
Yeah.
Oh, he
What is it again?
learned.
What's that?
Pissy.
Oh yeah, he likes.
He learned
likes
his
that
art.
I'm the worst father in the world. I'm the worst
Jackson's
father in
face
the
right
world.
now, like, what? I'm not getting this joke. He's
Oh,
laughing.
God,
I'm not sure
oh,
why.
he's such a bad father. No wonder I'm in court every 10 minutes.
Cancel that.
Oh, he's a bad father.
No, you're not.
So, yeah, did you have fun? Did you have fun looking at our lives like this?
Yes, I did. I had a lot of fun because I could see you in a different element than just the Love Master and on TV.
Right.
And
Now you got to see the
fun.
love master, like the master of love, of how much I
Right.
love my family. I do love, oh my
Exactly.
God, I love my family so much.
I like this
It's-
one with Jared drinking from the hose.
He's drinking from the hose. You're damn right. I teach these kids the old school. What did I teach them last night? Oh, we did tongue twisters.
Yeah.
At our table, we did tongue twisters. You can't capture that in a scrapbook. Oh, they were funny. Rubber baby buggy bumpers, rubber baby buggy bumpers, rubber baby. Can you do tongue twisters? Which one's your favorite? She sells seashells by the seashore.
Yeah.
Let me hear you do it.
She shows butter. She's sorry.
Oh, nice. That's pretty good there, comedian. There you are. And you're at the Reflections at the Bean, Chicago. I didn't even know it was called the Bean. What does that mean? I was there and I don't even know it.
No, you weren't.
Oh, I didn't go.
This
No
part.
wonder.
No.
I didn't know the Bean.
Yeah, the big bean. The big silver.
You remember the
bean.
Big Bean? We're in Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, we really get to travel. Now, how did you find out about, like, you knew this was Grandma here on, not on my side, unfortunately, but you knew that, how did you know that was Grandma? You worked with Mika on this?
Every picture that she would email me, she'd put a little thing underneath of it. This is who it is, and
Yeah.
this is when it was, and all of that. She was great with giving me all the information.
Oh, okay. And wouldn't it be amazing if you got all these clients out of this, and yet we can't get anything for Adam and Eve or anything? Just kidding. Oh, they're what.
I hope she does. I
what's-
hope she does. They look great.
It
Looks
doesn't look great.
fantastic.
Yeah.
This is beautiful.
Now, how do they
Yeah.
contact you? I know you're all over Twitter.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter, and I gave you guys a flyer with my email address and my phone number.
No, we already had that. We
Right,
need you to
right.
say it now. How does people that are listening or watching, how do they contact you?
Well, they can call me. My phone number is 562.
No, don't do that. No. Whoa, ixnay. Whoa, there's another way to do that.
Email.
I guess you haven't been in show business very long.
Email would
You
be
don't
good.
yeah.
You could do email.
Or your Twitter. What's your Twitter handle?
I don't know.
What are you talking about? You're on Twitter?
Yeah, I am.
I see you on
just Tonette Bradford.
Tonette Bradford. So look up
okay.
Tonette
Spell
Bradford.
Tonette.
Tonette.
There you go. So look
Bradford.
up Tonette Bradford. It's scrapbooking by Tonette, and I want to thank you so much. That's awesome.
Oh, you're welcome.
So, honey, isn't that
Thank
cool?
you.
Oh,
Yeah.
look how happy she is.
Beautiful. Thank you
Well,
so
this is
much.
what we're going to be doing tonight. All right,
We're going
kiddo.
to be looking through it all.
You did a great job on the air. Now I'm going to hang with Sarah some more. She's very bitter.
That
Want to
happens.
play Laughing at the Stars against her? That would be too funny if you won a multiple choice on
No,
Laughing
no
at the
shame.
Stars.
No more shame for
No
me.
more shame. All right. All right, honey. I'll see you back at the ranch.
Jackson,
Okay.
you were awesome.
Thank you, Tony.
Honey, do you have anything to say about your Kegels or anything?
I do them for you.
We played the Kegel DVD a few weeks ago, and she basically, what I love about Mika is she gives me the approval to say anything.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
Including, I know.
You're lucky.
Would people stop saying that? Like she
It's
gets
true.
nothing out of the deal. People always do that when you have a great wife. I have some friends that have wives like that.
She must not be shy then, or when you can you say things like your Kegels?
No, she doesn't
It
have
doesn't
much shyness.
phase her.
Well, you know what it is? Seriously, okay? I'm going to get serious.
Yeah, let's
okay?
get
Here's what it is.
real.
And I'm going to say this is the secret to relationships because I've been in some bad ones.
Uh-huh.
I've been in some really bad ones.
Yeah.
I've been in some good ones. I've been in some really good ones. But I've not been in a divine one, okay? This is a divine relationship it's just all founded in a higher source and a higher plane, and that's where we exist. And then you realize then there's not another person going, there's all these books, how to get this from your man,
Yeah.
how to change it to a no to a yes, or whatever it is, all that kind of stuff. It's manipulative. But this is the bottom line is she doesn't need or want anything from me, and I don't need or want anything from her because we understand that we exist as divine human beings as we are, so we accept the other person for who they are. And the other part about that, if you are going to live like that, is true honesty, is true love. So we have absolutely, you just say, now unfortunately she's married to Mr. Honesty with sarcasm and with colors that I'm throwing in there, and she understands that. There's a level of acceptance of that, but it still is at its core. Comedy is honesty, and she understands that.
Yeah.
Daddy don't get paid unless he does that, and that seems to be my style of humor is to be honest. And
Does
sometimes
she call
people
you daddy?
no.
Does it sound like that?
We have a friend that does that. It's very
That's so
uncomfortable. I
weird.
golfed with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was calling him
The
daddy
whole time.
Ew.
I golfed with him. Yeah,
Gross.
yeah. And she does, and with a southern accent.
Is she a lot younger than him?
Actually, yes.
Yeah, well.
You actually met him. He's one of our guests. I'll have you guess all day.
Oh, was
you
it
already
the
remember.
producer?
Oh my God!
Yeah,
How fast you got
the music
that?
producer, because he actually said it, and you said "daddy," and it's to his face. I was like, "Ew, gross," and he like laughed.
You sound like my 4-year-old now.
Yeah,
Ew, gross.
ew, yeah,
oh,
'cause
the
it is.
monsters. Oh no. You say Percy?
Yeah, but he can say his R's now. I was expecting.
What are you talking about? He said it like he doesn't pronounce his R's.
I heard the R. Did you guys hear the R?
Yeah.
So.
Oh, replay it. He's
No, we
bring him
all
back
heard
in, please.
the R.
Please bring him back in. Bring him back in. Thank you, Stefan. We are going to prove this. He
Yeah.
doesn't say, he goes Percy.
Percy.
There's a little bit of an
We
R,
heard
but
the R.
well, it used to be worse, but now I'm telling you, he still doesn't pronounce his R's. Get him in here. We're gonna
I'm
love
telling
when
you,
I'm right. I'm
we
gonna be
all
right
heard.
on this one.
But we
Now
all
she
heard
loves
it.
the audience. Did you see Sarah? Once you're on her side, it's like, oh, how about them? How about these people that I trust so much? Can they weigh in on this? Did you see how fast you changed? As soon as it went on me. All right, Jackson, real quick, come here, real quick, okay? And I want you to yell it out really loud, okay? My favorite train is, and then do the one that starts with a P, okay? Your favorite Thomas the Tank Engine is. Just say it really loud. Yell it out. Ready? Go. Say it really loud. My favorite is what?
Pissy.
One more time.
Say it one more time. Say it one more time. Go ahead.
Pissy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an R. There's
Who
a
wins
clear
that?
R.
A little bit.
Seriously? Sarah won
Clear
that?
R there.
Ah, taking your $30 back. I'm just kidding.
No.
All right, good job.
Yeah, Percy's
Good
a good
job.
one.
Yeah, that
He's
is
a good
that's your. What color is your? Well, tell us what color your P is. What color is that engine?
Green.
It's green. Okay, and what's it called again?
Pissy.
Yeah. Okay, and what does it do? Does it do anything special? That engine?
Oh,
What kind of special things does that engine do that's different from like Thomas and Gordon? What does it do? What is it Percy known for? What's it known for? Tell me. Say it out loud. What does that engine do? Does it get in people's way? No. What does it do? Is it a special engine? It's a useful engine, right? A really useful engine. Okay, thank you. You've been useful today.
Yes, thank you, Jackson.
Thank you, Jackson. You want to stay here or you want to go out with Mommy and Chloe? What do you want to do? You want to stay here or go out with Mommy and Chloe? Okay, you want to go out with Mom? All right, okay. See you later.
Good job, Jackson.
Good job. I still think I won.
Nope. I mean,
seriously.
Like not even a little bit.
We didn't take a full vote.
Let's take a full vote.
I know the people over here because I was looking at them. I know they all went like this to you, Sarah.
Thing is not.
I didn't see anybody on the left over here. Seriously?
Yeah, there's a
seriously? You heard a clear R?
Yeah.
Call us now. Somebody. Tell me. That was not, at least, can you give me that at least it sounds like a Long Island R or a Boston R?
Yeah.
It's not a clear R. He's not going, Percy, get over here, Percy.
But it's definitely not pussy.
He's not like, I thought Percy. You can't give me that?
No. It sounds
I'm not
like
asking
Percy.
for a Harrison Ford. Damn it, Percy.
It sounds
I'm not
like
asking
Percy.
for that. Damn it, Percy. For God's sakes, Percy. I'm not saying Percy like that. I'm saying he's going Pussy.
No.
Pussy.
Yeah, no. Sounds like Percy.
Thanks for ruining my act.
Well, you're
True
retiring
story, though.
anyways.
Listen, I'm gonna have Mika come in here. Please bring Mika in here and confirm this. He pointed at her crotch. He pointed at her crotch at TJ Maxx.
I could hear that.
And he pointed at her crotch, and he's pointing. He's
problem.
trying to point to the engine. This is when he was younger, and he kept going, my pussy, and he's pointing right at it. And I'm not kidding you when I tell you that. Now you know that she disses me, and she will not confirm this if it's not true.
Yeah.
Honey, I'm not going to sway you in any way. It's like a magician. You haven't been listening to me in the last 3 minutes. Have you listened to me in the last 3 minutes?
I've been looking at the scrapbook.
Do you know this man? Of course you've been looking at the scrapbook. You haven't heard a single word that I'm saying.
No.
I will not say
I'm a lot more
anything.
interested in the
Okay, I know you are. You'll go back to your scrapbook. If you have to confirm something for me, which our son did not do properly, I want you to tell us, when he was 2 years old, will you say what letter could he not pronounce?
R.
Thank you. And when we were in line at TJ Maxx, what was he pointing at?
My crotch.
And what was past your crotch that he was saying, I want my...
Pussy.
Who's with me now?
Yeah.
Who heard her say it? Did she have an R in there at all?
No. But
Okay.
all we were saying is he pronounces his R's now. Like
Well, yeah,
can
he's
say
4
Percy.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's
I
not.
still say he's not pronouncing it.
It's kind of like sometimes and sometimes not.
Well, today apparently he did because they all voted yes, and he had a full R on that. Unbelievable. Our followers on Twitter say they hear the R, so I'm out on this completely. Did they hear the R with Mika? Did Mika confirm the story?
We all
He's pointing
believe
right at his
that
crotch,
happened, but
and he says, and he kept pointing, my pussy, and I'm standing there going, oh my God, I've been desperate. I never screamed for it. Stop screaming for Percy. The tank engine. By the way, the person that said it on Twitter is Tanette, she already counted her vote. Okay? Tanette is the one that did it on Twitter. She's already in our audience of 9. She tweeted it, goofball. Did you see it says Tanette? Scrapbook? Tanette Bradford? Didn't you see that? Honey, I'm losing today, but thank you for confirming that.
Sure.
And by the way, she will throw me under the bus so fast.
If
There's
it
no way, if the story is not 100% complete and true, she will absolutely. How many times have I told a story? I'll be telling a story, right? You know I tell stories. That's what I do.
Jazz them up, maybe.
I start but when I pull in another instrument for the jazz, she'll go, honey, there was no clarinet.
That wasn't there.
I was there. There was no clarinet. I go. That's not part of the story. And then now we have to argue. I go. Plus, there was a clarinet. It might have been a different kind of clarinet, but there's a clarinet. So now we're arguing about that, and we're way off the story. And she's going, no, there's no clarinet. I go, I'll show you on video. There was a freaking clarinet. So anyway, that's a metaphorical sense of jazzing
we can
up.
Trust her. We can trust her that.
That's what I'm saying.
happened,
So now you know that story really happened. I won't bring her in here for other stories. Oh, wait a minute. She was there for the Don Johnson story. Okay, I'm going to do the magic thing. I'm going to do the magic thing again.
The magic thing?
No, this is the magic trick, okay? I'm doing it like Chris Angel. Have I ever met you before? Okay, I know that you have. Okay, no. Have you been in the other room listening to the Don Johnson story while I told it here?
Yes.
You heard it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
See, she is honest, though. I love it.
You heard the story?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about today.
Yes.
You weren't scrapbooking at the time?
No, I was waiting.
Oh, that was when you were
before
waiting.
scrapbooking.
Oh, that was before.
Yeah.
Okay. Any exaggerations on that
all
story?
Accurate.
Except for you really looking for the. You looked a little
I
bit.
think I looked just for courtesy. Like, well, let me see. No, not really.
You had a bleeding gum.
I don't really carry super glue around.
Yeah, because when I heard she was looking for super glue, that was the only part where I got stuck for a second. Because I was like, I don't see
said that she was doing because she's Mika. She was being polite. She just confirmed that.
Yeah.
Two confirmations today. This is what I need. I needed 2 confirmations. Thank God I'm not doing an ad read. I almost got in trouble last week. I did a bad ad read.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm not even going to say what it was.
And then they.
Yeah, they almost axed us.
Oh,
But
really?
today when I do that ad read, which is coming up in a few minutes, it's going to be clear and
amazing.
concise and real and honest, just like my wife.
Oh.
You should do the ad reads with me. You might give it some credibility. She has no accent.
No, I'll bring
She's
in the
brought up in
Japanese accent.
she was brought up in actually reading
She'll
in
bring
Japanese.
it
Maybe we'll get some Japanese. We'll get some Japanese callers,
I don't think so.
and you can interpret. If you speak Japanese calls right now, you only have 1 minute. Okay. I want you to speak Japanese and have her interpret. You know what makes me mad is now other people are mad at her. Not really mad at her, but we have my one friend Mimi. She's from Sweden. and she speaks Swedish to her kids, so it's bilingual. But I say to her, she's insistent that we speak Japanese to our kids.
And you don't want to do that?
Not really.
Yeah, is there a reason?
Well, hold on. She just said not really. Let me confirm. No is the answer. It's not a not really. It's no. If it was not really, it'd be like, maybe I'll try. No is the answer.
A few words here and there.
Itadakimasu. We do that before a meal now and then. All right?
Okay.
All right, I didn't say it right, but I tried.
What is that? What is it?
Literally, it means I'm about to eat, but it also includes.
I love that they have announced. It has nothing to do with the food and the fork and the knife going like this, and you have to announce, I'm about to do what I look like I'm going to do.
But it
to make an
includes
announcement.
thank you for the meal. I'm so grateful this looks good. You know, like sort of a acknowledgement of, it's sort of like grace.
All that in 5 syllables?
Mm-hmm.
That's,
We're really efficient.
And everything's short.
But is there a reason why you don't want to speak Japanese to the kiddos?
I've heard that, especially in the early years, it confuses a kid if you use both languages, and so that means that I would have to use Japanese only full time.
Oh.
Like one parent has to stick with a certain language,
Oh,
and I didn't
interesting.
want to do that just because I'm so used to speaking English, and
Yeah.
it would be confusing to be throwing around English and Japanese. Now that Jackson can speak English, like when he was 2, he was all excited about learning English and being able to communicate.
Yeah.
Now that he's pretty much mastered a good amount of English, then I'm introducing a few things here and there.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. So
I just
Mimi
noticed,
could.
for anybody listening, her voice is deeper than mine.
That's not true.
I'm going to have to go Love Master here.
Except when I speak Japanese, then it gets higher.
Oh, let me hear. Let me hear. Why don't you introduce who's in the audience over here? And then I'll introduce her. She can slide in here for a second. Who's in our audience over here? My top singer of all time. Why don't you do that?
In Japanese?
In Japanese. Jeez, I mean to stump you.
You're putting me on the spot.
Really? Seriously?
Yeah.
Just say, how about you just say, did you know Craig's favorite singer is here today? Jeez, you're like Jackson now. He's 4. He has an excuse. For God's sakes, we only have 2 minutes.
My head is in English.
But you were an interpreter. She did the interpreting for the girl from Babel. Did you know that?
Oh,
You know the girl from Babel?
No.
The deaf girl?
Yeah.
She did the interpreting for her.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, she's an interpreter. She's interpreted books and
So
stuff
you kind of, like,
But
literally-
apparently,
yeah.
under pressure on a television show,
It's not a television show.
people can see this on a TV. Maybe if you'd spread the word around a little bit more, people would say, I saw you on TV.
It's on
My friend
TV.
Sarah. That's what they would say.
If you have Apple TV, that could happen. Yeah.
Apple TV on I saw us on my TV. Of course, on DirecTV, you can press YouTube or Ustream, and there you are, okay? You can watch yourself on television. Just replay today's show and see how that went for you. All right, honey, thank you. But can you say who's in the audience today? Craig's favorite singer of all time? Go ahead. Say it in Japanese. Seriously?
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry.
Really?
Baby brain, sleep deprivation. I'm not
Oh,
doing
that's
it.
true. You got all
Yeah.
that. She uses period. You use that excuse.
Period.
That's not an excuse, and that's not an excuse.
I'm kidding. It's a joke.
real
That was a
thing.
joke. Don't make me sound.
And
You understand?
that's
That's the
a real
sarcasm of a comedian. I wanted to sound sexist
Well,
with the joke.
good.
Maybe I was half sexist with hers, but not yours. I'm not taking it back. All right, honey. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
All right,
See you
bye.
later.
Thank you.
We'll talk. I'm going to do a live read, and then also we will get to my favorite singer of all time.
Yeah,
It's just she's
we're
in our
gonna hear her
audience
music,
today,
right?
and we're going to hear it on the break, right, guys? We're going to hear that on the break. Yep. This was one of the songs that I bonded with my wife. Maybe that she's choking under pressure because she's intimidated. But when you get together with someone for the first time, don't you share music?
Do it. Like, that's how you are. I was feeling for your son and now your wife. Honey, do it. Do it.
God, we all need therapy. Listen, before I start this live read, hang on 1 second, just 1 second. I just want to say, then we're going to play the music. I'll do the live read. Then we will, and this is our sponsor. And then Bruce Vilanch will be coming in a little later. Is he out there? Is he here?
We're checking on it.
We're checking on it. Okay, but even if he's not, so you know how you bond with someone when you first get together?
Totally.
And you go, you got to hear my music? And I go, I got to turn you on to somebody you
Yeah.
are probably not aware of. And I did that with Sun 60. I go, this is the best. And this song, Landslide, not the one that Fleetwood Mac does, another one, or Dixie Chicks, another one called Landslide, it just makes me cry. So on my first date with my wife, I'm playing this and crying. And that's when she fell in love with me.
Oh, she
Because I
did?
cried. I got that and Silver Springs and Jungle Land. Those are my three tops, number one of all time.
can't wait to hear
and
it.
so my top three, one of them's here because Springsteen wouldn't come. Stevie Nicks wouldn't come, but Joan Jones is here.
Awesome.
Joan Jones has her own album. We're going to play that later. But she happens to be here just hanging out with her in-laws and stuff like in from Michigan.
Oh,
And that's our
nice.
audience. That's why we have an audience of 9, not 1.
Oh,
Because I ran
that's
into
what
her.
happened.
I ran into her when we were getting
Yeah.
our hair cut the other day.
Oh, yeah?
I was like, Joan, get out of here.
And she was
so we're
like-
all happy. She goes, what are you doing? I go, oh, I'm having a little show. She goes, can I come? Not that she was going, I'm a fan. No, she was going, what do you do? I go, yeah, I have in-laws coming. I have nothing to do with them. I got to put them somewhere for 2 hours. You take them, Craig. My God, they're annoying me. She didn't say any of that. I told you I'm in the art of exaggeration, okay? So anyway, all right, so that's coming up on our break. But right now, I have to tell you about something important. We have a new sponsor.
Are you looking to spice things up in the bedroom,
wow.
baby? Oh, yeah.
You can leave if you want, by the way.
Oh, cool.
Okay, Sarah, I'll start over. Go. Go, quick, get out.
What are you doing? Why?
I'm doing
Can't I
a-
just
I'm
sit
doing
here
a-
and not say
Because I didn't
anything?
think you'd want to be here. You're already commenting on our... I'm going to start
I have
over.
said nothing.
Out. Yes,
You're
you
the
did.
one that- no,
Can
I'm
we
gonna
replay
stay.
that?
I'd
Didn't
like
she
to
say
stay.
something like, what's this? Didn't she say that? What's this? Telling you what it is.
All right,
Can
well.
you please go? You're texting anyway. Go out the window.
This is the weirdest thing ever.
Why is it weird?
Because you're being uncomfortable.
I thought you would be happy that I asked you to leave. If you want to stay, fine. Okay? And then we'll go to the
Really?
break.
Now
and then
I'm getting like mixed messages.
then you'll take a real. Then you'll take a.
gonna
I'm getting
go.
a mixed message.
Okay, I just checked out. I'm gonna go and I'll come back.
Okay, you come back,
We're
Sarah.
gonna do the love master.
God,
I
I
hope
love her.
you guys all feel really comfortable.
Look, she's walking out. We're fine, Sarah. They're gonna be fine. And we're gonna take a little break. But first, I have to talk about our new sponsor.
Sure.
Seriously. All right, here we go.
One crazy ass bitch.
Mm-hmm. I did not say that.
Okay.
Crazy ass bitch. Here we go. Crazy ass bitch.
Yeah, baby. Hey, fellas, you looking to spice things up in the bedroom, baby? You've been fantasizing about surprising your lover with an adventurous new toy or adult movie? Yeah. To infinity and beyond, baby. Here's an offer you won't be able to resist. Yeah.
Go to adamandeve.com for a limited time only, and you'll get 50% off just about
Any item, baby. That ain't all, baby.
When you select your item at 50% off, you'll get 3 free adult DVDs, plus
a free gift. Yeah, so sexy we can't mention it on air. Yeah.
Adam and Eve will give you free shipping on your entire order. Here's the offer code. Go to adamandeve.com and put in laugh
laugh, baby. Oh, yeah. That's not your funny bone I'm tickling, baby.
Once again, you'll get 50% off almost any item, 3 free DVDs, and a free super sexy gift. And free shipping.
You're gonna need a tugboat to get this ship in there, baby. Oh, yeah.
Visit adamandeve.com today to be one of their first of over 7.4 million satisfied customers.
You'll be satisfied so good, you'll have a carton of cigarettes, baby. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was creepy. We're coming right back.
Gets a little crazy in the night. It gets a little crazy in the night. I don't know about you. What do they go to do? It's anything but easy in the night. It's anything but easy in the night. How so simply can I fall like rain from the sky? It gets a little crazy in the night. It gets a little crazy in the night. Love so warm and so real. Easy crazy to I am lost.
We go right from the most beautiful music in the world to dun, 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 dun. We have action. Is that song beautiful? Oh my God! I cry every single time. Do you see a little Misty?
Yeah, I do.
I sound like my buddy in Boston. I get a little. I said to him, do you ever take girls to chick flicks? And he goes, of course I do. He goes, not all girls are into porno though. That's what he says to me. And he goes, I go, you ever cry in a movie? He goes, Casino. I got a little Misty when I hit Joe Pesci with a baseball bat. That's what he says to me. He's dead serious too. I'm dead serious when I tell you this. System LS, something that I am on, by the way.
Is it okay if I'm here for this?
Sarah, welcome back.
Thanks.
It's a complete system of products designed to make losing weight easy and pleasant. You could not be here for this because you don't need to lose weight, but
thank you.
You could listen anyway. That's how to get her back. System LS products are natural and organic. You gotta love that, okay? That's the way I roll now that I'm married to Mika. From the first day, you should start to feel better. The very first day, you feel lighter, you feel energized. Look at me. See how energized I am and how happy I am?
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with having a 6-week-old. I have no sleep, but this stuff gives me energy. They have all kinds of products. We tasted them.
Tastes delicious.
Remember that meal replacement bar? That was from them.
I'd
System
like some
LS.
more
They
of
have
those.
shakes. They have multivitamins, protein bars. And here's the best part. You get 24/7 support, motivation, and coaching with access to a special mobile app. Who offers that? It's like you have a sponsor with you all the time. Like, it's like AA. I'm about to drink. I'm about to have a really bad food. You got an app to help you out. SystemLS.com and put in the offer code SHOE10. I guess shoe was taken. I guess shoe 1 was taken. It's SHOE10. You put that in there, you get 10% off your products. That's coupon code SystemLS. It's up on the screen if you can see it. If you can't, just go to SystemLS.com.
Probably the 10 comes from 10%.
Is that what it is?
Probably.
Okay, I think that's too logical. We don't do anything logical around here. Bruce Vilanch is coming up in just a second. I did want to talk to Joan Jones. Oh, he's got to knock at the door. Let's have Joan come in for just a moment, okay? Joan, come here for a second. Just come here. I love Joan. We ran into each other the other day. This is amazing about her. So, by the way, you're not the only stop-in celebrity that we've had, okay? Who did we have a few weeks ago? Just stopped in to see us. Remember?
No.
I'll give you all my magic tricks don't work. How about this one? I'll give you a hint. Is that right? Is that good? Is that a guy having a
Cookie Monster.
No. Slamming into things, rock and roll. Come on now.
It's
like the biggest punk group ever.
Oh,
forget it.
Steve Jones.
Steve Jones of the Sex Pistols was in your seat. Just stopped by.
For real?
And now Joan Jones stops by. Now, the Sex Pistols are not even in my top 100 on my playlist. You are at the top 3 of my playlist, if not number 1. Now I know you're not speaking right now. It's not going to help your. It's not going to help your cause. People are going to think I'm in love with a deaf mute over here. Are you allowed to say that anymore? Deaf mute? I know in Helen. I know.
I'm not allowed to say that.
You're not? Oh, in Helen Keller days, I know you could. She's a deaf mute, for God's sake. Say something.
Dating yourself.
So, am I really? What other references do you have? Marley Matlin? What kind of reference? What's the latest reference, for God's sakes? You need a new deaf reference. A deaf mute, for God's sakes. All right, so
Jesus.
Bruce Vilanch is the king of references. He'll have one for me. So, Joan, what are you up to lately, besides being in my audience here?
I am in your audience. I've been making up some new songs and doing some new recording, so I'm about ready to release some new stuff on iTunes.
Making up. It sounds like you're on the sly. Yeah, I'm making up some stuff.
So, well, isn't that what you do?
I guess
Don't you make up funny things?
Yeah, I guess you make funny things.
know.
I don't. You make them up. That
You
would
make them up.
believe.
Make up songs,
Yours
you know.
really make it to an album. Do you have any on iTunes that we can hear?
Not just yet. I just got my record back from my master's back from Hollywood Records, so I'm getting ready to do a big release on iTunes of all my music.
The master's back, baby. Oh yeah.
She hates it. You think it's creepy?
Is that why you had me leave?
She's watched me for years.
Yeah.
Yes,
I was always
exactly.
creeped out by the Love Master.
Yeah.
She's always creepy, but she still likes all the other stuff.
Yeah, I do too.
Matter of fact, she brought her whole family. They're all lovers of the comedy except for that part.
I think they like that part, though.
They do like that part?
Yeah.
What does that say about your in-laws? I don't know what that says about them. All right, so how do we get a hold of you?
You can go to clubjoan.com or Joan Jones on Facebook.
Joan Jones Facebook, clubjoan.com. It was so great running into. Now you're going to go back into the audience?
I'm going to go back.
Where's your chair? Oh, your chair is back. Okay, we're going to bring in Bruce Vilanch. But I am such a major fan of yours. I cannot tell people enough. Look up Sun 60. That was your group you were with back in. I've been watching you for a long, long time. Sun 60, one of the best. I mean, there's so many songs on the album. I play one after another. They still hold up. They're wonderful. I'm not even promoting. I'm just telling you, flat out, great music, make you cry. Anyway.
Oh, thank you so much.
sweetie.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you too. Joan Jones, everybody. And now we heard a knock at the door. What's that song? Someone's knocking at the door. I'm singing in front of a great singer. Somebody's ringing the bell. Do me a favor. Open the door. Don't make me keep singing, Bruce. Bruce, yeah, it's you. Open the door. Let him in.
Usually it's Hebrew prayer.
Hi.
That's me.
Hello, Bruce
Elijah the Lost
Vilanch.
Prophet. Hello, Craig.
Oh, they're playing the Oscar music.
Oh, thank you. Have I won?
This must sound familiar.
Thank you. And now a series of 12 years of slave jokes that will get nothing but groans.
You're probably happy this is the only year you haven't done it, right?
Exactly. I'm delighted. I mean,
yeah, with 12 years a slave, Captain Phillips.
you're exactly right. A lot of untouchable subjects.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a way to do everything. But
How do you make Somali jokes? What would you do? What would you do this year?
With the Somali guy sitting there nominated. That's the strangest part.
Exactly.
He's staring up.
I wonder what that's going to be like. Have you seen the movie Captain Phillips?
I did see it, yeah.
Those are real Somali. I won't say they're Somali pirates.
Right,
no,
I didn't see an eye patch.
They're Somalis. This guy's from Somalia, and he, but mostly he grew up in Minneapolis.
What?
They went to Minneapolis when he was a teenager, and he was a limo driver, and they had an open casting call because there's a huge Somali community in Minneapolis. Believe it or not.
Oh, I didn't.
I don't know why. Maybe they're all in rehab. I mean, that's why everybody goes to Minneapolis.
Isn't there a Hazelden?
Exactly. It's a land of 1,000 rehab centers.
There's nothing else to do
Everywhere
there.
you look, no, there's people getting sober and walking around, and Prince. That's
Because they actually walk
people
out,
getting sober and Prince.
They walk outside and they go, "Oh my God,
right.
I have to go back in."
For this, I stopped drinking. Please. This explains Betty White on Golden Girls. I'm going back in.
So Somalians,
he was a limo driver in
don't you wonder though? You're over in Somalia, or you're calling over there, and you're going, "Come on over." And of all the places to choose, I never understood that. Even about when people emigrate anywhere, you'd think they'd just keep going to a nice climate.
Well, I think if I were African, I probably wouldn't say, "Let's go to Alabama." It might not be the most inviting place if I were an African.
Bruce, there is something between the two.
Well, yeah, but it's full. It's busy. But in Minneapolis, I would think there aren't many of us there, and so we can form a community. Listen, why do all the Muslims go to Dearborn, Michigan?
That's true. There are a lot there.
Why? They like Ford?
They hang out at this one lake, Lake Metro.
It's the largest Muslim population in America. It's in Dearborn, Michigan. It's
when you're on the lake, it's all these people sunbathing. You're never in need of a towel.
And you wonder why. I mean, it's the opposite direction of Mecca. What was it about Dearborn that drew them? It's one of the great unanswered questions that probably.
I never know. I was thinking about this the other day. Is when people were, let's say you're starting off on the East Coast, which most of people did, right? Ellis Island, you start there. Now you start like moving west. Now, when you're in the summertime, how in the world are you going? I am planting here in Phoenix. It's 110 degrees. This feels fantastic. There's no air conditioning back then.
I know. Nobody planted in Phoenix.
Of course they did. Someone did.
No, really, right-wing Christians who don't want gay people. That's what planted in Phoenix.
Well, they were there, though.
No, Phoenix, they planted.
Or
Phoenix,
wherever the
Phoenix
weather's
was
really
where
bad.
the water was. In that entire state of Arizona, the water's only in Phoenix. That's why Phoenix is gigantic and the rest of everything is tiny.
But I don't understand how.
It's an
why
oasis.
Okay, so let's go
That's
with
why
Minnesota.
they
Okay?
stop-
He's got an answer for everything for me.
Yeah,
I'm
I
trying
like
to
it.
figure out
Well, Minnesota
logically
was settled
how
by
you
Scandinavians because
they're going. This is
because
toasty.
they knew how to live in that kind of weather because they came from it.
Right.
So that was why the initial immigrants who settled the place were all from Norway and Sweden and Denmark and the North countries.
But I don't. Yeah,
What about Colorado?
Yeah, what about Colorado?
What about? I don't even know who settled Colorado.
I don't really
I
either.
thought it was just white people who killed Indians and generic white people.
Yeah.
The generic.
Actually, what made Colorado happen was mining with silver and gold.
Right.
Right.
The fact that precious metals were discovered there, and so everybody who wanted to cash in on that went there, came west, and started digging.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the same reason Northern California happened.
I never knew we were going to have a history.
If you're Chinese, you
Fantastic.
think this all backwards because you came in to San Francisco. You came in the other way, and you started making your way east.
Now, if you really want to get into migration or emigration, did you know that there's a book called Edidorpa where people in Asia, they went up through the Bering Strait and then they came down, and that's what basic Native Americans are actually Asian, and then they keep going south. They
walked across a landmass that isn't there between Alaska and Russia. Only Sarah Palin can see it, and only when she's wearing her Google glass. Suddenly, it appears like Atlantis out of the water. There she is.
Wow.
She's gifted that way.
She knows where the bridge
Barbie.
is.
She has that second sight.
Yeah. Now, isn't she in comedy? You're a great comedy writer. You're one of the best. Isn't she almost off limits at this point? Isn't it like picking on the retarded?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did I say that? I didn't mean it like that. I couldn't find another word. You know, sometimes you can't find another word.
Yeah.
But isn't that
she's also off limits because most comics, I think, are lean to the left because it's the more reasonable worldview.
Yeah.
And you don't want to. I mean, she's out of the public dialogue, really, except for everybody but the right wing nuts.
Right.
So you don't want to give her any more time. So every joke you make about her reminds people that she still exists. It's like she and Michelle Bachmann can go off to a lesbian retreat together, doing everybody a favor. And that would leave Marcus Bachmann free to hit on me, which is, Marcus, the emails have got to stop. You're in Bachman overdrive without Turner. You get me? Thank you. Thank you. See what I did there?
I guess what I was. I love that.
And against a green screen, which is very scary. Because we have no idea what they're projecting behind us as we're sitting here.
It says Craig Shoemaker Show.
Oh,
and
I can see it.
And you're under Sarah.
There I am. Don't I look
You're
fit?
Sarah today.
I'm Sarah?
Yeah, I'm actually Sarah.
Oh, this is Sarah. The other Sarah that we did, right.
But you're under the wall that says Sarah. There we go.
I'm under Sarah's wall.
A lot of people are just listening to us. This is Bruce Vilanch, by the way,
listening.
Who, how many Oscar telecasts have you been the lead writer?
23.
Wow.
Seriously?
But I'm not
I love that he
doing this
knew
year.
that.
I did the Ellen's last time, and this year Ellen's bringing her whole cadre over from her show, and they're going to do the whole thing because they know how to do it now. I mean, the first time they didn't.
I didn't know Ellen hosted the Oscars before.
She hosted it, I think, in 2000. You don't remember Ellen with the vacuum cleaner and the
must not have seen that
doing
year.
a selfie with Clint Eastwood? Those were her bits.
You do remember?
Yeah.
I remember. I'm going to ask you to be a little opinionated here. I remember Crystal mostly. Because
you're the only person who does Crystal who remembers it.
What's that?
Oh, you mean Billy Crystal? Oh,
Billy
sorry,
Crystal.
I thought you were doing a drug record. I remember Crystal. Doesn't it sound like Maureen McCormick's memoir? The oldest Brady girl talks about her breakdown.
In an episode you never saw called I Remember Crystal.
Right, a very special Brady reunion.
Wonder how many of them were on Crystal. So no,
Billy Crystal.
Billy
Well,
Crystal.
he did it eight or nine times.
Yeah, and to me that was just what you're looking for. He hits it.
Yeah, he's full service.
Yeah, he's exactly.
Yeah,
he's full service. You really get the talent, and you get all of it.
He's
you know?
a vaudevillian.
Yeah,
he does the comedy and sings and dances, and he's a movie star, and so he's on the inside, so he can talk to the people who are out there as a peer, and he's a host.
That really helps.
Yeah. He's by nature a host. I mean, he's a congenial person. So
second to him would be James Franco.
Yeah, he was lively. He was lively. He
made Al Gore look like he's on Crystal.
I know. He was, why did he do it?
Did you write for him?
I did. And I
did?
I did. Well,
What was that like, Bruce? No one's listening.
Okay. Well, I like him. I'm fond of him.
Good guy.
But
good guy.
he was not in his comfort zone, as I've said many times, and.
Did he think it was? Was he in denial, or is it? Did he get it?
He was. No,
I think midway through the Oscars, he turned. You go, this ain't working.
No, I think.
Is there any moment you're out of denial?
Because he was kind of under rehearsed, and there were a lot of writers that he had brought in who didn't know what they were doing, who they weren't sure what to write for him, and it wasn't him alone. He had to deal with Anne Hathaway, and she's a precision instrument. I mean, she's a ballerina. I mean, she's like drilled and trained, and I mean,
hits every mark, and he's a stoner.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's a stoner, and so the only hope was that there was some kind of amusing contrast between the two. But we didn't know that.
Yeah.
And it's a bad place to find it out, on live television in front of 100 million people.
When you make your casting decision, you don't make it on live television.
No,
you know what I mean?
I agree.
You
I agree,
should
but it was
prepare
not
for
my
that one.
decision to make. It was just my decision
Sure, it wasn't.
to
And
execute.
But who hired you for something like that? Are you hired by the producers?
I was hired by the producers. The very same producer who made the decision to put those two together as hosts.
Hired you.
Strangely enough.
Same taste.
Yes. No, he was new. They were both new. There were two producers. They were new that year, and they had never done it. And so they tend to reach out to somebody who's done it, a few times before, because it's a ritual. I mean, there's a certain kind of things that are the Academy Awards does, and you're dealing with the Academy and the network, and there's a balance of all that stuff. And until you've been in there, you don't really understand that.
Yeah. Now, are you always like the lead guy? And so let's say there's a table of writers.
Yeah.
Are you the one that's sort of absorbing what everyone says and they're pitching you? I mean, how does that work?
It varies. The Whoopi years I was.
She basically goes, "That's my guy."
Right.
You come to
exactly.
him.
But the Steve Martin years, Steve does that. I mean, he's a writer and he's in charge. And when Billy did it, Billy does that. And there's also what the host does and the rest of the show. And a lot of the times I would be involved in the host and also in the rest of the show. The host would have writers just for the host. And I would also have the other stuff, I'd have to write when to sit there and come up with things with, you come up with stuff with people who want to do things, like Ben Stiller always wants to do something, and Tom Hanks always wants to do something.
So they're backstage and they're going, hey, what do we got?
Well, no, they all plan way ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, Will Ferrell and Steve Carell don't just show up and say, we'll figure something out in the green room. I mean,
must be someone like
these
that.
guys know what they're doing. So, but I would be, and they have their own people too, but I would work with them. But then there are people, Jennifer Aniston comes in to present an award for costumes, and Jennifer Aniston does not have a staff of people.
Yeah.
Saying,
so you're helping her.
Yeah.
Do you pull her aside?
We got to give you some home runs here.
Yeah.
Yeah. When does the writing process begin? The joke writing process? How far in advance?
It starts in October usually when the producer comes aboard, and then when they get a host, and you start batting around ideas. We used to have to write the honorary awards and all of that stuff that we already knew back then, but now they've taken those off the broadcast. They give those in October at a show that I wrote, the Governor's Awards, and then they show a clips of those things on the broadcast. So now basically most of the writing happens once the nominations are announced, because you don't really know what you're dealing with until they announce the nominations, and you also don't know who's going to show up.
Yeah.
Nobody will commit to coming until they find out if they've been snubbed.
Wouldn't it suck if you were like going, oh, this one will be nominated, you write all these great jokes, they go, you look at at 4 o'clock in the morning, your announcer go, oh, I got to throw all this shit out.
We did more than that once. One year that Billy was hosting, Jim Carrey had done a movie where he played Andy Kaufman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
sure.
so we thought
Man
this
in
is
the
going to
Moon.
be great if Andy Kaufman shows up in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
As Jim Carrey, and Tony Clifton shows up.
Right,
and
sure.
From beyond the grave, these guys show up, and we had this whole thing that we were going to do, and then of course they ignored the movie. He wasn't nominated. The picture didn't. So he was not going to. He wouldn't go near it.
He did that role because he thought he was going to be nominated. Everyone thought he'd be nominated. He completely immersed himself in the role of Andy Kaufman.
I know. I was kind of surprised, but the actors do the nominating, and so when the actors didn't dig it, or if they did, they dug 5 other people by 1 more vote.
Well, I would say this, Bruce, and I know you'll agree with this. The problem is there's actors and they don't like stand-up comedians, and that's where he comes from. A lot of, of course, Robin Williams is one, but in general, comedy doesn't win anyway.
Robin didn't win for his comic performance in
true.
Vietnam, which I thought he had the strong chance for. Michael Douglas won for playing Gordon Gekko, but he did win for his sympathetic role as a psychiatrist in Good Will Hunting. So that was acting for Robin in the eyes
of an actor, the thespian.
Right.
They're saying that this is serious acting, and now we can take him in a serious manner. But as far as someone immersing themselves in a role, I think the comedy is probably the most difficult acting. That's the irony. Is a lot of times when they're playing, I used to have a bit in my act. I said, if you play somebody with some sort of an affliction or retardation, did I use that word twice today?
A couple times.
Okay. if you have
those
that,
of you who are keeping count of the retard references.
Does Bruce's count?
That's right. Our tote board is 2.
You could do porn and have Daniel Day-Lewis. Somebody suck my. They're gonna absolutely. He's gonna be nominated. I can't touch my dick, please, somebody. And if he did that, I guarantee you.
Call it my left nut.
Exactly. So that's how they think. They go, oh my God. I mean, how many times in a row that you went from Scent of a Woman, Blind, obviously Forrest Gump, not the R word.
Yeah. Rain Man.
Every single year was some guy. Philadelphia. Oh, you can also have diseases.
Marley Matlin won, and Jane Wyman won for playing a deaf mute. Patty Duke won for playing a deaf mute. Helen Keller.
2 more deaf mute references. Thank you.
2 more deaf mutes. Thank you. Oh, was that earlier?
That was earlier.
Wow.
They got on me, and
Right,
he
so
said it with no criticism. Everyone just laughed when he said it.
Let's recap. Deaf mute is tied with retard.
I set him up on that one. Thank you
each.
for that, by the way. You didn't even know that I needed you on that.
Really?
Oh, they were heckling me.
Is that bad? Is deaf mute bad?
It's out.
Oh, it is?
And I said, who's the new deaf mute reference? We need a new one. Marley Matlin, it's 86. Come on, I need a new deaf mute, for God's sakes. We have a caller. Anthony is calling for Bruce. Hi, Anthony.
Neither deaf nor mute is my guess.
But he might have a brother who is. Hi, Anthony. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me okay?
Now we can. Yeah, absolutely. You're on with Bruce Vilanch and Sarah Sweet.
Hey, guys. Hey, Bruce, I'm such a fan of your writing. I wanted to ask you a question about the Oscars.
Yes.
In terms of why is it still, all these years later, that what seems to be maybe the most interesting part of the show would be the acceptance speech. Do they always cut it off with music so quickly? It seems to me that would be the part that you'd want to see more of. And why don't you think that's been changed?
That's a good question. I think because they have just so much in the schedule programmed for it. But since it's never rehearsed, nobody knows how long anybody's going to go and or how good they're going to be. So they make a judgment call as they're sitting there saying, okay,
they do.
We've got a minute in the script for this, and if he goes over a minute, we're going to start cutting him off. Unless he's saying something brilliant.
Seriously?
And effective and funny and theatrical or whatever it is, in which case we let him go on.
And if they're a star.
And if they're a star, yeah. But even
if it's a director of the best animated short, he's out. I don't care how entertaining
well, he made
he
a
is.
short, for Christ's sake. He can make a short speech. Thank you. I'm sorry. I think I heard a bonus round coming in.
We should be a team. I just set you up. We use deaf mute references all day. Thank you, Anthony, for calling.
Also,
yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for calling. I really appreciate that. I have, this is so much fun, isn't it? Because you really get the inside poop, which I'm sure you've been asked these questions 10,000 times on what it's like on the inside.
That one. I mean, why do they cut off acceptance speeches?
Well, I have a theory on that one. Is most of the people that are accepting aren't funny and they're not good writers and they're not put.
What does it feel like to watch somebody bomb with one of the jokes that you wrote, like a Jennifer Aniston or something?
It's awful. Yeah, I mean, it depends on a show like the Oscars. It's like watching your child fumble in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's
Did anyone ever walk backstage and go, "You handed me that crap"? I mean, then somebody must be blaming you. All the narcissists that don't take any self-responsibility that you're writing for. You don't think that someone's going to turn you and go, "Get him out of here"?
It's too late.
Stupid, ignorant son of a bitch, dumb bastard!
Has anyone ever
was
done
that? Anthony again?
He didn't like your answer.
He didn't like it. No, because they've signed off on it. I mean, by the time they get to the stage, they've been through this. Everybody has signed off on it.
They have.
Oh, please, their physical therapist has signed off on it. I mean, their wife, their ex-wife, their holistic pet psychiatrist. I mean, everybody has signed off on these things because no one's going to go out there unarmed. They want to know exactly what they're doing when they get out there. Yeah. So they and then if it doesn't work, all they can say is, "Well, it didn't work." I mean, if they had any qualms about it before, they yeah.
Really?
And you get notes from everybody. You'll get somebody's trainer calling up saying, "Hi, I'm Goldie's trainer. She left the script on the seat of her car, and I read it, and I think she should do this."
Wow.
I mean, you'll get calls from all kinds of people.
Wow.
It's the Oscar show. I mean, everybody wants to have a part of it.
And plus, everyone in this town lives in fear. Everyone lives in fear. So it's all about image.
I mean, the worst that happens is somebody comes off and says, "Well, that didn't work the way we expected."
Right.
But
is it a tough crowd in front of their peers?
Tough.
Yeah.
It's a tough crowd because at the beginning, the first thing that you have to remember is the place is lit up like a soundstage.
Oh.
And people are
and they're
sitting,
self-conscious because they're completely lit.
It goes live at 5:30 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
They have been up since dawn, being cinched and primped and slapped and and forced into their outfits and all this kind of stuff. They haven't eaten much. They probably had too much to drink already in the car in a flask. They get there and they have to run the gauntlet of the red carpet, which, if it's a warm day, can kind of be like waiting outside for the Yom Kippur service to end. I mean, very, very unpleasant. And then they go inside and they are sitting in this room trying to look their best under these incredibly hot studio lights. So right away, they're not focused on you when you come out. And they're consciously aware that they are being seen. And at any moment, there's a camera somewhere and they could cut to them and they don't want to be seen having the wrong reaction to anything. So they're nervous and they're not really in your court. I mean, if the host is somebody for whom they have a genuine affection, I mean, I think they like Ellen a lot, so they will, be rooting for her, so that they'll be better. But what happens almost immediately after the opening is they start giving awards, and for every winner, there are 4 people who don't win. And as the evening wears on, the room fills up with losers.
It's kind of like the parties I had in high school.
Exactly.
I swear to God, that's but ours just started right off with losers. We never had any winners in there.
They are not happy.
That's how I became a comedian, for God's sake.
And after a while, it's kind of like you're looking around the bar and it's 3 a.m. and you're saying, "How come I didn't go home yet with anybody?"
Yeah.
And so they begin to leave, or they stop paying attention, and suddenly, where there was a movie star, there is now a seat filler who is somebody's cousin who's an intern and is got a gown and is sitting there and smiling and is 3 feet from Brad Pitt and may actually pass out. She's not listening to anything you're saying either. Yeah. So the energy in the room is not exactly
They're thinking,
receptive.
is this my best angle? Or they see me back in Ohio.
Right.
And so there's a lot of agenda going on in there. And then if it's somebody like a Seth MacFarlane who's sarcastic, and they also don't respond well to that.
Right. Now the new game is, if you're watching the Oscars at home, the great drinking game is spot the texter. Because they'll go to you and you'll see somebody looking down into their lap. What is in their lap, which is usually fascinating to people, is a texting. It used to just be what was in their lap naturally, which of course people pay to see on screen. But they're now just looking at a text, and so the minute you see that, someone's there, texting. Time for a drink.
Oh, interesting.
There'll be a lot of drunks by the supporting actor.
Now you get to see a lot of people's roots because the head's bowed, and when they go to the shot, you can suddenly see
with a little flesh yarmulke
the
on
wig
the
line, or if there are any of those.
He's losing his hair. I had no
knobs.
idea, Ben Affleck. I thought that was a good head of hair until I just saw him. Now I would imagine that they would actually forbid. I forbid people in my stinking comedy show, and it's not even recorded.
I think that they can try, but
they just hand your cell phone in.
They're not. Good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with that with this narcissistic group.
Yeah, they'll have the backup cell phone. Somebody was yelling again. Was the deaf mute yelling?
He has Tourette's syndrome that manifests itself in pressing a button of someone else with Tourette's. That's basically how it works. It works around here.
So it's a physical manifestation.
So stars will leave before the Best Actor awards go out if they kind of feel dejected enough.
If they're not nominated, I mean they'll. They could. I mean, generally, no. The people who are nominated stay to the bitter end.
Yeah.
And the big awards, as you know, happen at the end of the show. So that's
plus I could throw in other factors, and I've never even been there. I mean, you're also frightened of the way you're going to appear. So there's the whole fear. And I do comedy. Fear and comedy, not a good mix.
No.
So and there's agenda, and there's how you look, and image, and all of this is going on in someone's mind along with some pops. I mean, you know, this is not a good comedy audience. Now, here's the other thing you mentioned is they're hot as hell.
Yeah.
Johnny Carson used to put it at 60 degrees, and Letterman copied him on that. That is good for comedy.
Yeah.
Is you have to be in a cold environment. I just did it this weekend. I go, when I arrived, I said, turn it down, way down. Yeah. And they said, it's cold in here. I go, make it colder because it's going to warm up with people, and they're there. They have the lights. So now people, just think about you in the heat, going back to Phoenix in the 1700s.
Yeah, sleepy.
With no air conditioning. You're thinking you're in the heat. You're miserable. You go, oh, my God, I got to get out of here. But if you're cold, you go, okay. And your nerve endings and everything is more receptive to what they're giving you.
It might warm you up. So please.
Exactly. Please warm me up with a laugh. That's why they have an audience warm up.
Yeah.
I just thought of that.
Do they have an audience warm up?
I don't even know if it's true.
No.
What?
No, at the Oscars.
Now that's
no,
a shocker.
I think it's. I think
Phil Steller's not out there going, "Come on, let's play a game." Come on now. That's a reference only Bruce would get. Phil will love that I mentioned him today. He's on a bus right now in Vegas.
They wouldn't pay attention. They wouldn't pay attention to anybody who was out there anyway.
Yeah. You're probably right.
I mean, they're so busy saying hello to each other and looking for seats and schmoozing. And in fact, during the commercials, the major schmoozing begins. People, the minute we go to commercial, they're up and out, and they're running up the aisle, or they just are saying hello to people, or they're checking the makeup, of course. And,
I have a great documentary idea.
Yes?
A hidden camera, right? A hidden camera where you actually see them. Like, you know, they'll go, I'm a fan of your work, and see what their opening line is if they've never met that person before. Because a lot of the stars have never met one another, especially when they're on the rise and they're young. They've been watching these older stars, see how many people approach Nicholson and what they say. You know, I mean, all the people making jackasses out of themselves. My first line with Jack Nicholson, for instance.
Yes.
This is a true story. I was in Martha's Vineyard vacationing, and my friend said, oh, my God, we just saw Jack Nicholson on a bicycle. And he's riding with Angelica Houston. I'm going, what? Are you kidding me? And I go, no, you missed it. And I love Jack Nicholson. So then I happen to run into him like a few weeks later. And he's got he's got a big belly and stuff. And I go, hey, hi, nice to meet you. And someone introduces. I go, nice to meet you. You got to settle a bet for me. Were you riding a bicycle in Martha's Vineyard a few weeks ago? And he looks at his big gut and he goes, does it look like I ride a goddamn bike? It's like the greatest way to meet him. But I would love to have those moments captured on film when you see someone making a fool of themselves.
Yes.
Now, speaking of that, have you ever had those experiences where you're meeting someone, you're tongue-tied or...
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'll just overspeak. I'll just say something. I'll just talk too much, I suppose, because I just want to, I just want to impress them, I guess. But although I can't think of anything where it's been like unsalvageable and stupid. Yeah. But I'll tell you a story on somebody else because I just use it in this documentary about the Oscars. There was a year that. Sophia Loren was on the show, and she was in the green room, and Jim Carrey and Nick Cage were in the green room, and they wanted to meet her. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, just go over and introduce yourselves. Oh, no, we can't do that. It's just like, do you know her?
They're asking you to do
it. Yeah, I know her, a little bit. She's been on the show a few times. I know her, and I've met her socially for a nanosecond here and there. So I brought them over and I introduced them. And she's very charming. She's always quite charming. And when she doesn't want to talk to you, she's, suddenly only speaks Italian.
Oh, wow. What a great out.
I know, but she was, speaking. She was hello, it's nice to meet you. Yes, isn't it a lovely evening and all that kind of stuff. And they were kind of nodding. And then after they got through the initial pleasantries, they realized they had nothing to say. I mean, they had nothing to say. What were they going to say? Gee, I loved you and two women. I mean, what were they going to say to her? So, and she, of course, was not going to say to Jim Carrey, oh, that Ace Ventura is so clever. Clearly, they had, no basis at all. And so they just said, well, lovely meeting you, and good night. And they kind of walked away. And as they're walking away, Jim turned to Nick and said, well, you impressed the hell out of her. At some point, Sophia will turn on a TV somewhere, and there'll be a Nick Cage movie. They'll be riding a bicycle and be on fire or something, on a motorcycle. And she was kind of, I met him at the Academy Award.
I would have loved if she said to Jim Carrey, did you really talk out of your ass?
I know. That's what I was...
Was that real or CGI?
I was waiting for, but, just not in her world. Just... Not in her world at all.
Bruce and I did the Hollywood Squares together.
We did.
That's right.
Yes.
I did like
You were in San Francisco. Whoopi brought you down from San Francisco. You were living up there, I think.
No, I was just up there for a
you were
little
just up
bit,
there
and then
working.
I came down. Well, I did about 75 episodes, but I say about. It was 75.
Yeah.
But anyway, you did a number of them. Were you the head writer on
I
that?
was the head writer, and Whoopi wanted me to be the host, and so they thought she was nuts.
She asked me to be the host too.
Because she was desperate. No.
I'll tell
you
her
were
that,
at least
too.
in the running. I mean, they had to test me because they didn't want to piss her off that early in the game.
Oh.
So they tested me, and it was a riot because I was with all these guys, who had fabulous teeth and looked good in jackets, and and were saying, "And this is for the win, Louise," and I was just, "Hey, girl." So they said,
I would have liked it.
They said we don't. Well, we're looking for a little bit more mainstream than you, but we'd like to put you in a square. We like your energy, and so they put me next to her, and I think the idea was to tame her. But of course, that didn't happen.
No,
That
she
never
was
happened.
not tame, and they
but
were
we
not
had a
used
lot
to
of fun.
this.
Really?
Oh no, they wanted. She's really, really raw. Can you use that word?
Yeah, well, they wanted.
She's very raw.
They wanted a big star, but that at the same time, they I think they weren't expecting that she was going to be as whoopee as she was. We used to she used to get famous saying. Why are you so black? That was one of my favorite. I get, why are you so gay? And the other one was, why are you so black? And we'd exchange the letters, because I always said that she's basically, a Jewish boy from Jersey, and I'm basically a black woman from Queens. And so we had a good
from
time
Queens
with each other.
or
From Queens, with
okay.
Queens,
Okay.
of Queens.
Which preposition?
She she was more than they were expecting.
Yeah.
They would hand us jokes, but a lot of the comedians we would just write our own.
We would write. The comedians would write. Well, the people who were funny we wrote for, and a lot of people would come in. I mean, if anybody who was a comic would come in armed, I mean, would look at the stuff and start redoing.
They give you the bluffs. They have to. We had to. Yeah, you have to because you can't depend on someone who's normally an actor and they're handed lines.
You have to give them a plausible answer because otherwise the contestant would just agree with them all the time.
Right.
So you have to give them an answer that's
or disagree with someone who seems stupid.
Yeah, right.
If they seem stupid, you just go disagree. They would never know that.
Sounds like it might be real, then the contestant has a fair shot if he doesn't know the answer. And a lot of these questions have no answers, really. Whenever there was a question that began, according to Dr. Joyce Brothers, you knew there was no answer. I mean, who knows what the hell Joyce thought?
Right.
Right.
I mean,
it's not like a fact.
Right. It's not a fact.
Like Mount Rushmore
it's
is in this state.
It's a hunch.
Right. Right.
So there had to be a game. We had to keep the game going.
Yeah.
Did you find because this is what I found, and you can share this with me. We're not as big as celebrities. She had big celebrities on there. So you and I are not as big as celebrity. No. And plus they're a little afraid of mispronouncing our names. I'm always Shoemaker. Really? You're probably Vilanch and everything else. And Vilanch. Like it's a conch show or something. But I was always, did you have this happen to you? They avoided me. They would avoid me. I mean, I was one time I'm looking at a monitor. I'm the only way to go. She's like, I'll take Patrick Swayze to lose. Anything but call on the guy she can't pronounce or doesn't know who he is. And she would lose because she wouldn't call on me. But they would avoid the people they didn't know. They wanted the big stars to be called. Did they give that mandate backstage? Was that part of it?
No, well, if they did, it was to the contestants. It wasn't to us. And they rigorously separated that part of the operation because
they did.
Legally we were not.
You can't be anywhere near in the same building, practically.
And in fact, if we knew a contestant, that was supposed to disqualify him. So, a lot of actors go on game shows to make some extra money. Mm-hmm. And because they're actors, they have personalities and they get chosen for these things. Mm-hmm. And so periodically we come out there and there would be a contestant and it would be somebody I knew. And so, I would have the choice. I would just pretend I didn't know him.
When you were a kid, did you watch that show? That show was my show.
Oh yeah,
that was when I was a kid. My whole dream was to Paul Lynde to be my father, and I wrote him letters. And
yes,
and
you narrowly escaped.
Well, I because my mom would go. My mom was in such denial. They would always have the Queenie guy. Every year they would have a Queenie. There was Jim J. Bullock and there was Waylon Madam and then Paul Lynde. But my mom never really put the two and two together that means that they're not going to be with a woman. Mm-hmm. So, and she would read I'll never forget, she's reading Parade magazine. My God, he's awfully handsome, and he's a single bachelor. He's a confirmed bachelor, Craig. He's a handsome man. And my little mind, I'm going, he could be my father. And so I wrote him letters saying, you should meet my mother. And then I'd ask questions. I said, Mr. Lynn, does Toady Fields really have a wooden leg? I like trying to get these little questions in, like I am doing with you right now, getting inside information on different things like that. But I had such an affinity for that show, so it was like a dream to be in those squares. Do you ever have
the same way?
You did. That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
I wanted to know that
because this was the third version of it. That we did, and I remember the first.
Peter Marshall, then John Davidson, and Tom Bergeron. Yeah. It was the last version. We did the last version that I think that was ever made. But so you do have a bit of not starstruckness, but you still do have that feeling like, wow, I'm a damn square, and people around the country are. That did sound
to
right.
be square.
That did
As
sound
Huey
right.
Lewis once sang. Thank you, Huey.
So you do have that a little bit because you obviously, I mean, you hang in these circles of people that would dream to be hanging with Bette Midler, is a very close friend of yours.
Yeah.
And how close is it? Is it like, hi, get over here, or is it mostly business, or do you do pleasure together?
No, listen, it's been 40 years, which is difficult because she's only 33. But it started as, it was always business and friendship, and the friendship, when there was no business, happening at all, there's still the friendship, and there still is.
And what is that like? I mean, when she says, like my friend Dave, for instance, I'll say, we're in business together, but I'll also, when we're not working together, I go, want to go shoot some hoops?
Oh, we did.
Is she saying, let's shoot some hoops?
No, she's too short for hoops, really.
He's acting like he's the hoop star.
Exactly.
I would play with her if she had some height.
Exactly. But,
if that would be on the list. But what would be?
She's got good aim.
What would be on the list of things you would hang out and do with Bette Midler?
We eat. We're foodies. We eat like crazy.
Right.
She knows every Chinese dive in L.A. She reads blogs. She reads like food blogs. She's a big, and her husband is a genuine, like, huge cook. I mean,
wow.
His closest friend is Michael McCarty from Michael's, the restaurant in Santa Monica and New York, who's like, big deal chef, restaurateur.
Right.
And we'll go over there and he will quietly cook, a meal, and you're getting a meal by Michael that people would pay hundreds for. He's whipping up from what they have in the refrigerator. So that's what we do. We eat a lot. I mean, we go to the theater, we go to the movies, and
Any
things like
singing?
that.
Is there any singing?
Is there singing? No.
Really? Oh my God! I would think.
Well, maybe casually, but no. Do we gather around a piano at parties? Actually, this is very funny because we talked about. When there's a party like Mark Shaman, who wrote Hairspray and was her music director for years and is producing an album that they're recording right now, as a matter of fact. When we're at his house, he'll sit at the piano and everybody at dinner will wind up getting up and doing a number or something like that. And we thought, this is just so square. But in the old Hollywood days, this was what they did.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd go. There was a guy named Nacio Herb Brown who wrote "Singin' in the Rain." That's his most famous song, and a lot of others. But that was like a big deal song. And he had famous parties. I mean, everybody, Betty Grable and Judy Garland, everybody who showed up would sing. It was like a Grammy Awards. I mean, that kind of jam.
Yeah.
And so, in a very small way, we do the same kind of thing, but the parties are fewer and farther between.
Right.
Everybody's not on the same coast. You should pardon the expression.
Well, it's not only that. You just hit a certain age, and it just isn't. Let me just stay home.
Yeah.
And DVR, everything is making us stay home these days.
Right, exactly.
Naps.
Are you kidding? Boardwalk Empire's on.
Exactly.
I have a question.
How much do you go out? Do you go out much anymore?
I go out a lot.
Do you really?
Yeah, I go out.
You hit the town?
Well, yeah, but not the way I used to. I mean, I never go clubbing. I mean, my God, I watch TMZ, which is a show about people getting in and out of cars
with no underwear,
with no outside of clothes. And if you go to a club, first of all, you're being ambushed by TMZ and paparazzi and all of that. But
they should have a segment on there just called "Who's Not Wearing Underwear."
I know, exactly.
That would be.
I'd watch.
Who wouldn't watch that, for God's sake?
I would certainly watch.
And who would you want to watch? Who would you have a crush on these days?
Everybody. Who would I have a crush on these days?
Yeah.
Oh God, I haven't even. I haven't thought. Ryan Gosling, there's one.
Oh my God, that's my wife's.
Really?
Yeah, they just bought a diary for her.
It's a Ryan Gosling.
It's every page is his face. It's called That Girl or something like that. It's just him going, "Hey." It says "Hi, girl." Or
he
something.
was nominated once for the Oscar, and I think actually he was nominated twice. But he hasn't done the show. He didn't want to do it. But I ran into him at somebody's house, and he's very cool and funny. I mean, when you consider he was a Mouseketeer.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I think that he's that shot of him in Crazy Love, Crazy Stupid Love, where she says you look photoshopped, and he does that reaction and I think that is his reaction in life,
right,
to all of this.
Yeah.
Is that because I'm sure that somewhere he's a Mouseketeer kid who created this thing, but this is incidental to what he really does, which is the acting. And I mean,
well then tell him to stop lifting weights. Okay, if he doesn't want us to look.
I know, but
even
it's
I
his
look.
instrument,
I'm
his instrument the way it was Paul Newman's instrument.
That's a good-looking dude. But put a shirt on. Can you talk to him?
I'm happy
Seriously,
to, but it will not.
The one good news is
the phrase "put a shirt on" will never come.
Not from you being the messenger.
No.
I can't get that out of you. Put a shirt on.
The one
good news is
take something else off.
Yeah.
For me, he's human foreplay.
Yeah.
My wife gets excited. I go, Ryan, set her up. I'll knock her down, brother. Yeah.
I think that's
it's like, go ahead. Take your shirt off. I'm sick of it, though. Some people, I'm sick of them having their shirts off.
I used to tell Bette that when I
put a shirt on? I can't imagine me saying
never
that to
that
Bette
either.
Midler.
Never. But when we do the concerts and she would say there's so many dating couples that are out there, and I said, well, I think the word's gotten out that you loosen these women up, and the guys want to bring them to your show because when they leave your show they feel kind of liberated because you're very sexy and you tell funny dirty jokes that aren't like filthy, gross, dirty jokes, and you never use the language, but you create the visual. I think, and that loosens a lot of people up, and it makes for a fun evening.
Are you pretty? I mean, I know that we have to go in a few minutes, but I find it so interesting that you can write for so many different types of comedians or performers, and you have to get into their voice because that's not something that I'm great at. I can maybe write for myself, but that's it.
Yeah.
And so, how do you do that? Just step into the shoes and write for Bette Midler, and then switch to Whoopi, or go to.
I think it's a knack, and also I think because I'm an actor, it's part of the skill set, I guess, because when you're handed a role to play, you figure out a voice and you
immerse yourself
in. And when I write for somebody, I pay attention. I do my homework and listen to them and watch them, and I have a good ear, and so I can write stuff that's in their voice. So in that regard, it's also kind of it's a gift.
It's the same for songwriting.
It's a
well,
gift.
Yeah.
It's the same for songwriting. Listen,
it's
the same for. I mean. I'd say you wouldn't design the same dress for Cher that you would for Nicki Minaj. I mean, even if you're outrageous as a designer, those are two different body types, and you would be nuts not to pay attention to what they've got.
Yeah.
And so it starts with what they look good in, what color they're going to look good in, what fabric's going to sit well on them, what line. If you're going to give somebody the A line, somebody else can get the mermaid. It's paying attention and being adaptable. When real writers, playwrights, for example, who create all these characters out of the air, have nothing to go on but what they've got in their head, and they have to write consistently for each character, and that's why, the really good writers know how to do that. Because you know that when a character says something that character wouldn't say.
Yeah.
I mean, and the actors, when you work on a series, when you come in as a writer on a series, I couldn't tell Archie Bunker, I couldn't tell Carol O'Connor what Archie Bunker would say. I mean, if Carol O'Connor said to me, "This is not an Archie line," you can't argue with him.
Yeah.
He helped create Archie Bunker.
Right.
So. Yeah, so you're a fool if you're going to try and impose your will.
Did you write on that show? You didn't write it?
No, I didn't write on that show.
Have you written on many sitcoms?
I've written on a ton of sitcoms. I come in after other people have written on.
Right. Yeah, you're a punch-up guy too.
Right.
You do Bruce Vilanch. I could go do this all day.
Yeah.
Is it a coincidence that he came in Oscar week? I think that's awesome.
That's really cool.
Was that?
No, I didn't plan that. I didn't either. I just
realized
the only
this is
day
genius.
I could come, and I wanted to be on your show.
Wow!
Because we had, we had a great time back in the day doing squares.
Yeah, I've always dug you as a person. You're a good guy, and you know what? You gave me a compliment.
Friends.
You don't even know this. You gave me a compliment, and coming from like a genius like you, it really meant a lot to me because, I wasn't part of the team of Hollywood Squares, but I'll never forget that you said you're really great at saves. And I had never even heard that term before.
Yeah.
And a save is basically like if something doesn't go well. Carson was the genius of saves.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he let me know this one day. He goes, man, you got, I don't know what the words were, but I'll never forget it. But I mean, I'll never forget it, but I forget. But no, I never forget. And that really meant a lot to me. I really appreciate that.
Right. I mean, Carson would just, if a joke bombed, he would just say, Jim, my gardener loved that.
Right.
Plus, he was with my wife at the time. Someplace else that would get him a laugh, and then he'd move on to the next thing.
Yeah. And that, you know what it is? That's an instinct that pops in with me. It's like, oh my God, I'm in trouble here. I will get my ass out of this trouble.
It's also you're funny.
Well,
people keep saying to me, what should I do if I want to be in comedy? I say, be funny. Because a lot of people aren't funny, and they're in comedy, but you're funny. I mean, that's why you can do that stuff.
They don't have it. They don't. People don't understand that. It isn't something I can teach to a point. You can. It's even like mathematics. You can teach the mathematics of joke writing, but if you don't have something in you that causes you to be funny,
we're being played off. This is exciting.
Is this the same music they use with the Oscars? Did my speech go on too long?
I haven't thanked my agents and all the other Jews who take care of me professionally.
You know what I did when I accepted an award? I said, I'd like to thank, I said, all these people want me to thank them. I'm going to thank the people I'd like to work with. I'd like to thank Steven Spielberg, Marty Scorsese. I'm going to use this opportunity to get that. Bruce Vilanch.
Great Shoemaker.
By the way, get the movie, the documentary, Get Bruce. It's a great documentary all about Bruce Vilanch, our special guest. Please promote us on iTunes and Facebook. We're the Laugh It Off podcast on Facebook. Shop at Amazon through our banner at CraigShoemakerShow.com. You shop through there, and you give Sarah a little some back. Okay, it's not even about me. I've said it 1,000 times. I want Sarah to have the money. By we sold a couple T-shirts. I owe you some money. So listen, I hope you had a great time today with Bruce Vilanch. Joan Jones stopped in here from Sun 60. Now she's Joan Jones solo, one of the greatest voices ever. And I was so happy to have, and my son who kicked Sarah's ass. And are you smarter than a 4-year-old?
It was unfair.
A 4-year-old.
It was unfair.
He won $30 to 10. I just thought I'd remind you of that. Listen, I hope you all had a wonderful time, except for Sarah today. And we'll see you next week. Oh, Tanette gave me a sign-off. What was my sign-off? I thought you sent me one.
I did.
Okay, well, what was it, for God's sakes? I don't mean to choke.
Forgiveness begins with me.
Forgiveness begins with me.
Oh, that's too cheesy.
That sounds like my wife. That doesn't sound like me. Thank you to our audience of 9 for being here. All the way from Michigan. And thank you to Tanette Bradford for my scrapbooks. And we'll see you all next week.
Yes.